It would go down as like the weirdest, standalone night.
Starter. But I get, but the other team is too, right?
Right.
I mean, they're not starting. They're number one.
Yeah. You should still have enough offense to.
Yeah, you would think.
So there's your baseball, Forrester. Stop screaming at me in the pre-show.
Hey, thanks, Jim. Love you.
Meanwhile, Brooks has gone back and looked. Auburn hasn't missed the NCAA tournament yet, but they are now 10 toes on the bubble after the loss last night. They were in the Final Four last year in what seems like a rarity until Brooks started doing research. Final Four team missing the tournament. What'd you find out?
Well, since our last conversation, I even went back 2 more years. Since the 2008-09 season, 15 teams that made the Final Four have missed it, the tournament altogether the next year, including 2 national champions, 2013-14 UConn, who won it as a 7 seed, and then 2011-12 Kentucky, who missed and then got beat out by Robert Morris in the first round of the NIT the next year as the defending champion.
So we're close to almost one a year of a Final Four team missing the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I get NFL Super Bowl loser, that trend you're on. Half the NFL playoff participants the next year flip out. I mean, I get that with what you've got with the salary cap and the balance you've got, but that makes no sense in college basketball.
So we're getting close to the point where every year after the Final Four, one of our segments can be, now which one of these 4 teams is not going to make the tournament next year?
I mean, it's pretty crazy. And, I mean, Auburn is certainly on the bubble. A lot has changed now, but if I took you back to the right after the Final Four last year, I could not have convinced you of Auburn. Of course, now their coach retired, and they completely flipped the roster almost, so – I mean, a lot has changed.
Not missing the tournament.
Not missing the tournament. Even still, I don't think you could have talked me into that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
even knowing Pearl retired.
The same conversation that I would have had when, they're going to 12 teams. Alabama will never miss the playoffs.
Only the first year of it. I mean, that's it. When Brooks told us because I was like you, I was like, how hard is it to go from the Final Four to missing the field of 68? And Brooks came in here in the next commercial break. He's like, I'm already up to 14. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. How many could have done it?
CPAP Plus brings you part of the show today, LT. Tell us about the great folks at sleephomealabama.com.
I saw our man Joe O'Neill yesterday afternoon. Joe and Woody O'Neill.
Were they walk-ons by chance?
Joe might have been there.
Yeah.
He might have been there. Look, you need that proper 8+ hours of sleep every single night. If you're not getting it, you need to go visit our friends at O'Neill Medical and CPAP Plus. 5 great locations throughout the state of Alabama, with 3 right here in Birmingham, Pelham, Highway 280, and Trussville. If you're looking for the best CPAP gear with personal service you can trust, visit one of these locations. You're going to find the best service and equipment all in stock ready for you with hundreds of 5-star Google reviews. Trust CPAP Plus for all of your CPAP needs. CPAP Plus, every night matters. There for more information, o'neillmed.com. That is ONEALmed.com.
Mississippi State playing Alabama tonight, 8 o'clock. Nate Oates here gets asked what's the biggest area of growth since Alabama beat State in Starkville.
Yeah, it's been about 40 days since you last played Mississippi State. Where would you say your team's greatest area of growth has been in that time?
Gotten healthier. That's number one. Like, you look at every one of our games, like back in January, beginning of February, even December, like, who did we have that game? Who didn't we have?
Summer nights of your life. How many of those were in a great T-shirt? Visit nextround.store to get the perfect T-shirt for the next perfect Southern night. Nextround.store. The memories are waiting.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway. Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Chaos coming to college football. We'll talk about that later on. We'll get to Alabama's dominant win and everything that happened in college basketball last night. But all week long, I've tried to start with something off the wall.
All right. Positive?
Just something that is unique.
It was positive until today, it sounds like.
Oh, no, yeah.
Nope. Lane Kiffin has offered an 8th grader. Didn't he do this when he got to Ole Miss, too? Is this like all of a sudden?
He did it at SC.
Yeah.
This seems like something that he does to draw attention. But Lane Kiffin has offered an 8th grader who apparently can run a 10.5 with his little short legs. He could run a 10.5 100-yard dash, they still call it, I guess.
That's crazy.
He already plays at one of the high schools in Monroe, Louisiana, where he had a big year as an 8th grader already. He's a running back. And Kevin Smith and Lane Kiffin has visited the kid, and Fizzle is his nickname.
What?
Rodyard Fizzle West Jr. The Fizzle.
Oh, Fizzle.
I think it's Jizzle, is it not Jizzle?
Is it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it
it's
says.
Jizzle.
I'd
Okay.
go
Fizzle, too. How you get that nickname Jizzle, my friend?
Yeah.
I'd rather be Fizzle.
Yeah, I think I'd go Fizzle.
Okay, I see it now.
Hey, I would like to add, though, that Dylan Moses, if you guys remember him.
I do remember Dylan Moses. Was that the 8th grade?
I think he was actually in 7th grade when he started getting offered.
Well, by the way, that was a good choice.
Was that by by Coach Saban?
I think he had a plethora of
Yeah,
suitors.
I'll think of the quarterback in a minute because it was a pretty big name that Lane Kiffin offered when he was in 8th grade. But if I'm a running back and I'm transferring in and he's like, I'll give you $600,000, that's not that important of a position. Well, then why are you offering an 8th grader?
That's right.
Yeah.
In-state kid, 8th grade, so he's got to play 9th, 10th, 11th. Sometimes you reclassify when you get to 11.
The running backs never get hurt either.
Yeah. 9, 10, 11. He's got at least 3 more years of high school, if not 4. So I just thought it was interesting that I felt like this was something that Lane does when he gets to a new location.
Yeah. In case you're wondering, and you might be because I was, the world record, now 100-meter is the record.
Right.
I mean, that's the – I think this is 100 yards, though, was 9.07 by Asafa Powell.
Yeah, this may have been in track. It may have been 100
may have been 100 meter.
Yeah, I just as an older man rarely write down meter or yard.
I'm with you. I'm American, so I'm yard.
To be able to maintain that speed for 100 yards, though, if you're talking about a 10.4,
yeah.
I mean, again, that's a better pace than a 4.40, and we're talking about an 8th grade kid who is going to get faster.
One would think.
You probably don't peak out on speed until, early 20s.
Yeah, I mean, eventually he's going to, probably have a growth spurt, have some interesting girls. Things will still happen for him from the 8th grade on. Wait till he sees what the dancers and the majorettes at LSU look like.
Nick in the chat brings up a good point. Will Kiffin even still be there by the time he graduates high school?
It's a great question.
He's going to have to win a lot. He's going to have to win a lot to break the trend. I would say average SEC coach. Every 4 years, probably that's about the average, right? Every 4 years
but
you get a new coach.
I think that's going to accelerate in the era we're living in, where you can buy rosters. I mean, the expectation is win right away in the NIL world.
Brooks, quickly pull up the 16 SEC coaches. Let me know how many of them have been there longer than 4 years.
Longer than 4 years? It may be.
I think it's 2.
Yeah. Kirby and
Eli Drinkwitz, 2020. Lane was that guy. Was in that 2020 class.
Clark Lee.
Yeah.
Clark Lee, 2021.
Think about it. DeBoer is going into his 3rd year, so that's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we would have, going back to when Brian Kelly was hired at LSU, Scott Woodward made that deal, if you would have said he is fired in 2025, you would have been like, there is no way, or it's a major scandal. So the pressure that is LSU now, and for Lane Kiffin to be a $13 million guy, like if this doesn't – if he goes 2 years not getting to a college football playoff, I wouldn't be surprised by year 3 if they resign.
I'm 100% with you. I mean, it is now. There's still big money and big buyouts now. I think that will continue to reduce a little bit. I don't know.
David Sills, the receiver for West Virginia.
That's what people in the chat are saying. Yeah, it was David Sills.
I just found it.
Ended up being a pretty good player. But
really good receiver.
The expectation is win right away now. Used to, you got to give a guy time to get his full 3-4 year recruiting cycle. Pfft, not anymore. I mean, you just go buy a team now.
Yeah, elite coaches killed that, 15 years ago in
that was
second
before
year.
NIL.
But now Kirk Cignetti is just, basically run people's head through wall just based on what he did in the first year in Indiana and then followed up in the second year. I mean, everybody wants it immediately.
Yeah, interesting there on an 8th grader. We'll see if he's still around when we get there. To basketball in a second, Crane U bringing you part of the show today. Tell us about Crane U.
I got to see our friends Scott and Nicole yesterday from Crane U. Just fantastic people. Very important when you make the phone call and you contact our friends at Crane U that you mention the next round, 10% off all the great services, whether it's Nicole or Francis that you talk to. Francis, you see right there in the video, loading up that I don't know what that is on the end of the crane, whatever we were navigating. Well, it's a hook, but then whatever the heavy piece of whatever.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to explain it?
Yeah, heavy piece of whatever.
Yeah, get the crane training you need today. If you're looking for that new career, you need further training to advance your current one. Our friends at Crane U offer the comprehensive state-of-the-art, fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes, overhead lifts, or forklift training. If you want to use your own equipment, not a big deal. The team at Crane U will come to you. On-site, on-location training offered nationwide. Make the job easier, job site safer. Crane U also offers certification, safety inspections to ensure the safest environment possible. Classes are available monthly. For more information, craneu.com.
And when you find yourself in need of legal assistance, the first stop you make is Shannara.com and our guy Alexander Shannara. Alexander Shannara trial attorneys. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case with Alexander Shannara. Shannara.com. Shannara.com. He is a Birmingham guy. That is his hometown. It is where he lives, and he wanted it to be where he built a practice that would take care of his community. And he has done just that right here in Birmingham, Alabama for more than 25 years now. And he's recovered more than $2 billion for his clients. So the success rate there at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. So when you find yourself in need of an attorney, you don't pay a dime unless they win your case at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Shannara.com. Shannara.com.
Amazing night for Alabama in a second, but if you're Auburn and you're hoping for bubble teams to keep bubbling and not lock in, it was a good night as far as the SEC bubble teams losing if you're Auburn, because Georgia, Texas A&M, I think could have all locked up NCAA tournament bids with wins last night. No embarrassing losses, but there was the opportunity for Georgia, Texas, and Texas A&M, who were on the same line as Auburn last buys, according to Lenardi's bracketology. They could have locked up spots with a win last night. All three of them ended up losing to really good basketball teams.
Well, and Texas A&M almost was a blowout. They got up early lead. I think it was like 11-6, and then the next thing you knew, Arkansas was up double digits, and it looked like it was really going to get away from Bucky and A&M. And then they, started to creep back in the second half, and then it was at 6 or 7. And I know this because I had A&M plus the 7.5 last night. And then Arkansas made 9 consecutive shots. I get Brown to put it onto the car. I mean, literally right when they put it on, 9 consecutive makes for the Arkansas Razorbacks. They end up winning the game by 15. I think A&M's in some trouble.
They've lost 5 of 7. Their remaining schedule is Texas, Kentucky, and LSU. Winnable games for A&M, but they haven't been playing their best basketball. If they had won that game, I think they'd have locked themselves in. They lose it to Arkansas 99-84.
Yeah, and they were still a 9 seed according to Lenardi going into last night. So, right. They're squarely in the tournament. But LSU looks like the only, layup game that they've got left. If they were to lose 2 or 3, I think they got issues.
LSU winning last night over Ole Miss, 106-99, double overtime. Chris Beard's first losing season is coming now in his 16-year career. He's about to have that after getting Ole Miss to the Sweet 16 last year. Florida beats Texas. No shame in that, but obviously a Texas win last night would have locked the Longhorns into the tournament.
Yeah, they were going, last 4 bye going into last night, and they were playing with Florida early, and then Florida did Florida things in the second half and pulled away.
Thomas Houck ankle injury, something to keep an eye on in that Florida game. And then Brownie Vandy beats Georgia in Nashville 88-80. Nothing wrong with that. Vandy's a team battling for a top 4, but Georgia's now lost 6 of 9. They could have locked up a spot last night with a win.
This was a nationally ranked team not too terribly long ago, the Georgia Bulldogs, and boy, are they taking on water here in the back half of the SEC schedule. Which I know we're about to talk Alabama, is good news for Alabama because that's their last road game of the SEC schedule is at Georgia. And depending on what happens Saturday in Knoxville for the Crimson Tide, those last 2 games don't look as daunting maybe as they did a month ago with going to Athens and hosting Auburn.
Yeah, at Tennessee, at Georgia, and then home to Auburn for Alabama's last 3 games. Bama's won 7 straight. We'll talk about them last night after they unlocked the three-point ball, especially in the first half. You can unlock great savings with our friends at Central State Bank.
The
Brownie.
bank that is big enough to meet every need you have, but they're also small enough to know you because they are a community bank, community-focused on Central Alabama. They have been doing this for a very, very long time, more than 100 years. So you know that Central State Bank is a bank that is rooted in community. That's what you get with Central State Bank. So whatever your dream is, whether it's just buying a new car, starting your own business, Central State Bank, driven by relationships, rooted in community. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
63 first-half points. It was never a contest. Alabama just blows Mississippi State out of the water. Here's Nate Oates after the game.
First half was the best basketball we've played all year, so very encouraging. Phylon's out, ball moving, was crisp. Holloway, Reitzel did a really good job taking care of it. Amari was hitting threes. As a team, we shot it well. Then second half, a little disappointed with our leadership. Didn't think we played as hard as well. Thought we played the scoreboard too much. So really disappointed in the second half, but super encouraged by our mentality going into the game. Our defense on Hubbard was great in the first half, other than one play when we just kind of fell asleep on it, gave him the 3. He scored 3 points. Then, he ended up getting 11, which for him, who just had 46 on Auburn, outscored their entire team in the first half. I thought our guys were really locked in, did a pretty good job.
So they take Hubbard out of the game, 3 points in the first half. And if you're beating Mississippi State, that's the first thing you do.
Yeah, and that's why it's really surprising where Chris Jans is. I was thinking about, I don't know why, randomly before that game, like, would you have been surprised if Mississippi State was kind of a surprise good team like A&M like this year, just with Hubbard and Chris Jans and that track record? But they've been awful. That was Hubbard's 3rd lowest output of the year. This is what is interesting about Alabama. Without your best player in LeBaron Philon, who's got the lower leg injury, this is how dangerous they are. Hitting 16 threes in the first half, hitting an SEC high 22 this year, the ball movement that he talked about, 23 assists last night for this Alabama team. When they get hot behind the arc, that is the ultimate equalizer, and they can play with absolutely anybody if they're hitting those shots.
Zero doubt about it. And, we talk about what Alabama is like when Sherrell is not on the floor. Obviously, he was on the floor last night, 11 points for him. But the type of shooting and, as you mentioned, ball movement on the perimeter is how you continue to win games if Sherrell is out of the game or is fouled out of the game, whatever the case might be. That barrage you get from outside, especially with Amari Allen, my gosh, what an impossible matchup. If he's going to score 23, the way he rebounds,
8 of 10 for the field, 6 of 7 behind the arc.
I don't know what you do with that guy, man. What you're doing with Amari Allen if you're trying to defend him, if he can score like that.
I don't know. Were you in Tuscaloosa or were you on the couch last night?
I was at home, yeah.
Okay. So watching that game, though, I looked up at Brown and I was like, what is Aiden Sherrell still doing in the game? And it was like the minute he scored his final points on that dunk and they were up 30-something, I'm like, damn, you can't have this guy in there. And then immediately they pulled him out. But I was a little surprised that he even played at all in the second half.
Amari Allen on the guys stepping up and LeBaron Philon's absence.
He really didn't have too much of a message. Obviously Barron's our leading scorer, so, some guys are going to have to, score some more tonight. And, we had 5 or 6 guys, in double figures, so I feel like we all knew that we had to come out, fill the role that Barron has, and I feel like we did a good job of it.
23 points from Amari in just 26 minutes. Reitzel had 18. Holloway had a massive night, 16 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. Sherrell had 11, and Alabama wins. Now they go to play Tennessee. Go ahead.
So I was going to ask you guys, do they still do the hard hat?
Oh, they do after every game.
Was it Latrell Reitzel last night?
It was not. Oh. It was Jemison, I believe, right? Isn't that right, Brooks? It was Jemison last night? Okay, thumbs up from...
Okay, I just thought Reitzel played a hell of a game. I just thought there were things he did all over the court last night. It was hard to, it gets a little camouflage because you're up so much, and that game was never in doubt.
Yeah, I do love Nate Oates' approach, though, after the game. Like, some people in the chat man, Nate sounds disappointed. And I like that because you definitely let your foot off the gas in the second half. I mean,
well, you asked me a team total. There was like 2 minutes left in the first half, and I was like, based on the pacing, I would put it at 111 and a half, 112.
Yeah.
Now, they ended up getting to 100, but the second half was night and day from the first half.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, Kalshi had the halftime total for the game at 189 and a half.
And it flies under that.
It flies under that. In fact, I had friends who were at the game. Hey, are you here? I want to ask you about Kalshi. And I was like, just you put in TNR, and then I'll answer any of your questions.
Yeah. Send me a screenshot.
and Jeff goes, I'm already in. Do they do totals? And I said, yes. So I showed him how to do the totals. And he's like, what's the second half here? 189 and a half. And he says, just hammered. I just took a position on the no. And then he texted me after, easy, never sweated.
Yeah, he thought there was no way they do that again. But do you realize, I saw Mike Rodak tweet this, at halftime, the last the last two halves, Alabama versus Mississippi State, if you go back to the second half on the road in Starkville and the first half in Tuscaloosa, was 124 combined points.
Yeah, because they were slow starting, got behind against Mississippi State, and Starkville played a great second half, great first half.
Think about that, 124 points in 40 minutes of basketball. That is nearly impossible.
It is, and that's against Chris Jans, who has historically
you're averaging over 3 points a minute.
Yeah, who's exceptionally, or who's traditionally been an exceptional defensive coach. His style, whatever they do defensively, and I don't know X's and O's enough to tell you why, whatever Jans does defensively does not match up against Nate Oates. And Nate Oates and Alabama have owned State.
10 straight wins.
10 straight, but all of the ones obviously under Jans. His defense, it can be good against some teams. It cannot be good against Alabama's system. I don't know what it is.
Later on in the show, probably to start hour number 2, LT wanted to do a national championship draft. I'll let you explain that when we get there to start hour number 2. Is Alabama in the mix? Is it Florida? We'll tackle that coming up in hour number 2. More basketball from last night, though. By the way, Alabama at Tennessee. Tough game for the Tide there. Tennessee lost on Tuesday. Brown and I both joked there that, I don't know how many times you see Rick Barnes lose back-to-back games. It doesn't happen a lot. It makes it a little tougher on that trip to Knoxville. Last night, the biggest game in the country was St. John's at UConn. All I need to tell you is that St. John's did not score a field goal in the final 17 minutes and 28 seconds of that game, and that's all you need to know about that game.
How's that possible?
No field goals in the final 17 minutes and 28 seconds.
Well, that's how you score 40 points.
40 points from a Rick Pitino team. The lowest number of points Rick Pitino has scored as a coach in his 38, 40-year coaching career. That's the lowest output ever, whether he's at Providence, wherever. 40.
The floor of really bad basketball is the team that we had made up of some jocks guys that we played in that Homewood pickup league.
And you always scored 40?
We were lucky to score 40, but my point was
running
when you look at how St. John shot it last night, that's how we shot it. They were 11 of 56, 20% from the floor. And I just don't get, as good as UConn can be in spurts, and they are one of the top 10 teams, maybe top 5 teams in college basketball, there's not a world that St. John's, with their talent, should shoot 11 of 56 from the field.
14 second half points, 14. Alabama had 14 points before the first media timeout of the first half.
Absolutely.
If I don't know how you score 14 points in half of basketball when Rick Pitino is your coach, that was a baffling outcome.
8
right
assists.
That is a baffling outcome. Them losing to UConn's not baffling, but them losing like that is just, I could not believe that score.
A couple interesting games tonight. Number 13, Michigan State at number 8, Purdue, 7 o'clock on Peacock Central Time. Liberty is a team to watch when you fill out your bracket. They're at Kennesaw State. Our buddy Antoine Petway, the coach over there, should be an interesting atmosphere. 6 o'clock if you got the ESPN app, ESPN Plus, like Forrester does, if you want to watch that contest. And basketball happening tonight. One more thing to get to here in this opening segment. After LT tells you what the question was last night for trivia at Odie's.
What came first, Rihanna or Raising Cane's?
Those Raising Cane's chicken fingers, they can kiss it to make it better. Rihanna song.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Rihanna came first.
Jeeves, you feel good about that?
I feel good about that. Unless Raising Cane's was just real small and then blew up in popularity.
That's what you always wonder.
Yeah.
I feel like it's only gotten popular in the
Well,
in
it
recent
was
years.
real small and it blew up, but Rihanna celebrated birthday last week, 38 years old now, 1988.
Only 38. What a career.
And then,
She's crammed a lot in 38 years, though. I'll give her that.
And then Raising Cane started in Baton Rouge in 1996. So these are the little things you learn at Odie's Team Trivia. We do it every single week. 2 great locations, incredible food at both from Rodney Davis, doing it for almost 4 decades now. The original location that we're at every Wednesday night in Crestline, newest location in Edgewood. Great bartenders, those Odie's Famous Cup cocktails, the ice cold beer buckets, full of the Bud Light, and live music every Friday and Saturday. A great place to watch all of your college basketball as well. Stop in all weekend long, either location. Go see Will Haver and that great staff, Birmingham Institution at Odie's Tavern.
Favorite 3 Rihanna songs?
Umbrella.
I like S&M, and I like Kiss It Better. And then there's a ballad that is just
Love on the Brain.
Oh, that may be it. Yeah, that may be the ballad I love. What is it again?
Love on the Brain.
Love on the Brain. I think that's it.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Umbrella was the only one I knew.
You know who was supposed to originally do Umbrella?
Who's that?
Was Britney Spears, and she turned it down.
I was about to guess Britney Spears.
Yeah.
That was a bad choice by Britney. That's a good song.
And she could have done it.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, she could pull it off. Yeah, that's a bad choice. That's a good song.
It's actually one of my least favorite because you heard it so much.
Oh, yeah.
You
The
just hear it
hits.
so
I'm
much.
a hits guy, though. I mean, most of the time you throw a band out. Brown, what's your favorite? I mean, give me a band. Just throw me a band.
Well, I see. I forget where we were, but I think I was on one of my guy trips golfing, and we try to build golf around casinos and anywhere we go play golf.
Right.
And I think we were in Cherokee, North Carolina.
Yeah, Harris.
And they're at their little casino there, coming in concert.
38 special.
Was the Black Crows.
Oh, I love the Black Crows.
And I swear, I told the whole group, probably with a drink in hand, I was like, oh, Brown, if he was here, he'd go see the Black Crows. That's his favorite band of all time.
It's my favorite band of all time. Seeing Things, by the way, my favorite Black Crows song. They are coming to the new amphitheater here with Whiskey Myers in May, and I'll be there 100% for that. I already got my tickets, man.
Rihanna will not be here this year.
Rihanna will not be here.
Hey,
this year.
Rocky
But
ASAP getting a lot of acting roles, but he is locked into Rihanna, right? I mean, he's knocked her up a couple of times. He ain't letting go.
Yeah, ASAP Rocky is sticking.
Rihanna's one of those that took the $6 million one show and went and played for the Saudi prince, right?
I think so, yeah.
She's one of those that did
But
that.
I mean, I think she's on her way to being a billionaire if she's not already.
She's already a billionaire.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good
she's
for her.
got like a lingerie brand or something, and that does crazy numbers.
I like that duet she does with Eminem, where he looks out the window. I guess that's why they call
Love
it
the
window
Way You
pane,
Lie.
which I always think is a great line of a song. Looking out the window, watching you leave. I guess that's why they call it window pane.
Yeah. Oh, pain. Yeah.
And that when he talks about tying her to the bed and burning it.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
that's
the
a good
same
song.
one?
Yeah, I want to stay and watch you burn. That song.
Yeah.
That song. I like that one too. All right, that's my
I think
second
same
favorite.
song. Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So that's a good one
That's
too.
my second favorite one.
Yeah. Okay. So Taylor Swift for me. Well, just looking around artists. Black Crows for you. Is it Metallica for you?
Probably, yeah.
They're doing a residency at the Vegas Sphere.
Metallica is.
Yep.
Tyler.
Is he jumping the script?
I just
When
wonder,
does that start?
How long are they? Yeah, how long are they going to do it? Do you have any idea? Because we have had this Jack Taylor 21st birthday planned for almost 5 or 6 years
When's
now.
he turning 21?
Oh, we've got roughly 30 months.
Oh, okay.
They're doing 8 shows, and it'll be October 1st, October 3rd, October 15th, 17th, 22nd, 24th, and 29th and 31st.
Okay, well, we can't risk it. It's not going to go into his 21st, so we just got to get a fake ID and go out there this fall.
That's right. You need to.
Yeah. So football season's why I was going to tell you probably wouldn't do it, but maybe you will do it.
The Rams are in Vegas this year, so maybe
there you go.
maybe it
Yeah,
works
double
out
dip.
with
maybe it'll
weekend.
double up.
Yeah, double dip.
But when I have things, I work all that conversation about music to get to Metallica at the Sphere with him, and you beat me to the punch. That's fine. It's fine. We got the same juice out of the squeeze.
Well,
there.
and I've been dying to go to the Sphere, so this makes sense. Like, a lot of people I think just go and don't necessarily like what they're going to see, but they just want to see what the Sphere is all about. You've been. I think you're the only person up here that's been on the panel. I've driven past it.
Were you saying me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I've driven past it a couple of times in Ubers, and it's just, it looks like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It really does. Yeah.
It's super cool inside, and I just try to imagine what the shows would look like. And I've never been to a Metallica show, but I can imagine they
the
could do
production's
amazing
crazy.
things amazing things. He loves the sound, Metallica, right? He's really precise, the head guy.
Oh, James Hetfield?
Yeah, he's a perfectionist. Yeah,
like
I've read
Don
that.
Henley said, the only reason that the Eagles signed off on it was because of the wall of speakers in there, that they wanted to hear their sound with that wall of speakers. So he'll get a kick out of just playing those speakers.
Don Henley's like that. I saw him at Oak Mountain Amphitheater once, Don Henley.
Yeah, he's a perfectionist
He's
too.
a perfectionist, and he had some instrument. I don't know if it was a harmonica or whatever that was like attached to the microphone, the way they do the harmonicas. And he tried to play it once, and he looked at it and tried to play it again, and he just threw it down. It was like, that thing don't sound right. He literally just threw it on the stage. He's like, I'm done with that.
But I wonder what these kind of, to do a residency at the Sphere, what do you think they get? Because those tickets, you're able to probably, in all big concerts now, stadium tours, the worst ticket is going to be $100. They're expensive-ass tickets, so you probably double that price point at the Sphere, maybe even triple it.
Yeah, maybe.
Backstreet Boys reportedly got $4 million per night.
Oh, my gosh.
Small venue, relatively speaking. It's not a stadium. What does it hold?
20? I would think 20.
Yeah, that's what I was guessing.
Up to 20,000 guests with 17,600 to 18,600 seats available depending on the configuration.
Did you get motion sickness at all?
I did not. I was worried about that.
Because, there's certain things. I've gone to the big McQueen centers, and you get on one of these expeditions where people are, climbing Everest or whatever, and you're looking down and doing these kind of spiral things, or, the Blue Angels. I got to look at the ground to get my bearings straight. So I was wondering if you've got all of that going on at the Sphere.
I was worried about it, but what's it called, the patch you put behind your ear?
Zofran?
Or
a scope?
What is it?
Dramamine.
Yeah, I did a Vegas version of Dramamine before I went in there.
Vegas version of that is freaking some kind of cocktail of every kind of
it was THC
narcotic you can imagine.
I was going to say that did not go behind your ear.
It did not go behind my ear. But there were a couple of things that I thought, okay, this may get me, and it didn't. But I've seen some of, was it Widespread or The Dead that did something, and there were a couple of theirs just on video. I was like, okay, that's got me a little sideways. So I think it depends on the show.
Yeah.
And the motions. So anyway, Metallica at the Sphere. Well, I was really going to surprise LT with that, and Tyler and I were able to surprise him together.
Tyler?
We surprised him together, man.
Right,
It worked out. Way to Wellness brings you part of the first segment. When we come back, what chaos is coming to college football and what the guys who are trying to run college football are going to try to do to prevent it from happening, and it's going to happen really quickly coming up in May. Unless they do something about it. That's in our next segment. Way to Wellness wants to prevent the chaos of weight gain in your life. They can help you jumpstart your weight loss. If you've been looking for something that works for years and years and years and you haven't found anything, I've got good news for you today. Way to Wellness, it works. I've used Leslie and her board-certified team for years to keep the weight loss off. They keep me satisfied when it comes to food. I've got these protein bars that I'll eat for breakfast during the work week. Then I'll go and with the family, we'll have a huge breakfast on Saturday mornings of all the great stuff that I love to eat, the French toast, the pancakes, the eggs, the bacon, and all that. But these protein bars get me through the week. They keep me from bad snacking. They got a plan specifically for you, too. No cookie-cutter plan. It all starts with our friends at Way to Wellness. Go to the website at planforme.com. No contracts. No sign-up fees, and your first consultation's free. Yes, they've got injection therapy if you want it. They've got meal replacement, a variety of things to help you. Go see Leslie and her team. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Let's go racing. It's time for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the Garage Experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobil 1 Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
I just teased it, and Pete Nakos and On3 Sports just sent it out. They got their own story at On3 Sports, so we'll talk about it in just a second. The chaos that is coming to college football. Before LT tells us about Hoover Toyota. On this day, the Yankees and Babe Ruth parted ways. How are you on your Babe Ruth trivia? Did he play another baseball game after the Yankees?
He did. I think it was in Baltimore. I think he played for the Orioles or whatever franchise was in Baltimore at the time. That's where he's from.
Do not think he ever played again.
Both of you are wrong. Brown is actually closest. He actually played one more season with the Boston Braves, so actually part of the Braves organization, where he hit 6 home runs and played limited time in the 1935 seasons. How many MVPs? I mean, we've seen in our era.
How many years did he play? Full years, do you know?
I do not know. But in our era, like Michael Jordan, Kobe, you get tired of giving the MVP to the same guy.
Yeah.
And they set such a high expectation.
That's right. That's right.
But you had Babe Ruth at one point was, I forgot how many major league teams there were at that point, 22, 24. But
maybe even less than that.
He had more home runs than I think every other team.
He was hitting more home runs than the team. So he played 22 years, Lance.
I would say that he's got 6 MVPs.
Oh, 6. That's a low number for 22.
Oh, I was going to go lower than that because I'm thinking the same thing you're thinking. Babe's amazing. Everybody knows he's amazing. Let's give it to.
Well, see, that was my point, though. Is that a modern day thing? No, it wasn't. LT almost nailed it. 5 MVPs is all he had.
Out of 22 years.
Out of 22 years. When, like you said, LT, there were so many. There was no doubt he was the MVP. So even back in the 1920s, 100 years ago, sports media even then was like, God, I'm tired of talking about this Babe Ruth guy. Let's give the MVP to somebody else.
So the closest we ever saw, and it was fictitious, was the movie The Natural, 1984. Right. And we remember the character, Roy Hobbs was kind of based on Babe Ruth a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. But then he actually faced a guy that was based on Babe Ruth.
Yeah. And Joe Don Baker.
Yeah.
So, but in that period, his relationship with the Robert Duvall character, they obviously had a little friction between them. I would think Babe Ruth was probably like that with the media, if I'm just guessing. He probably didn't have the best relationship with them. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that could have rubbed some of them the wrong way when it came to the MVP voting.
Yeah, only 5 MVPs. I was surprised when I saw that. But this is the day that the Yankees released him. Can you imagine talk radio if they had it back in 1920 before Herb invented it in Birmingham? What New York radio? We are releasing Babe Ruth.
What are we doing here, guys?
We're not even trading him. We're getting nothing back for Babe Ruth.
What would be fun if we got to sit down and come up with 10 athletes we were going to bring back from the day and put them on 1-year contracts, having to work out with nutrition, with social media, with interviews.
And he'd be the guy you'd want?
Oh, he'd be one of them. Hell yeah.
Because nutrition would be like, pass on that. What was the other stuff I got to do?
Oh, and just think about him with social media out there. Babe Ruth was banging everything and eating everything in the world. I mean, if you had 10 athletes, Babe Ruth wouldn't be one of them.
He'd be a show. There's no doubt.
If I had the opportunity to bring back 10 people to watch them play at their peak, I don't know if Babe Ruth would be one of them.
You've never given Babe Ruth
No, and that's the thing. If you really don't, if you're shitting on Babe Ruth, why would you not want to see him against the best right now?
Dunaway's a Babe Ruth. Jim's got a long string of things that are overrated. Babe is among them, right?
Yeah.
Graceland, Babe Ruth.
You never even saw him swing the bat.
Well, I mean, I've seen as much as you have.
Right.
That's a good point.
I just look at the numbers. I mean, look, you can't deny that.
Yeah. Today, you're facing a fresh pitcher all the time.
Of course, you were taking a shit on a Beatle yesterday, so
I thought
the
Beatles way overrated. Really big at their moment, way overrated.
Forster's bringing back Pete Maravich.
Look.
Oh, Morrow?
Overrated right there. It says,
What?
It's Maravich.
I'm sorry.
But Tyler was agreeing Beatles overrated.
Overrated?
Incredibly overrated.
Oh,
incredibly.
I'm not a Beatles fan, but you can't deny the impact of the Beatles.
Sure. The impact is different.
No, but it is the biggest band. I mean,
that's because we had nothing to do.
I just find it
like
amazing.
Go outside and play with a rock or listen to the Beatles.
But they are so much more talented than somebody like Taylor Swift, and like you lick Taylor Swift up and down.
I think she's a great songwriter and an unbelievable performer.
What a way to word that.
Our show being brought to you by Hoover Toyota. Tell us about Hoover Toyota, man.
Hey, look, if you are in the market to buy a car, you need to check out our friends at Hoover Toyota. The inventory, the financing, everything airtight there. I went in, made my first purchase at Hoover Toyota in December of 24. Got late in that RAV. She absolutely loves it. Reliable, safe, holds its value. Back in October, went out and purchased a vehicle myself at Hoover Toyota. Ex-wife did so just a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago. They are the best in the business. Their inventory offers the fantastic selection. Their on-site finance department, headed by Kim, provides the affordable financing options even after the keys to your new vehicle are in your hands. They are there to serve you with service and parts department, committed to keeping your vehicle running smoothly. When you shop with Hoover Toyota, they want to keep you as a customer for life. That's why they offer the red carpet program and give you ways to let your friends and family experience an amazing shopping experience with the referral program. Stop in, see the fine folks, Highway 150. Tell them the next round sent you, or view their inventory and great pricing today at Hoover Toyota.
If you're looking for a club home, a country club home in Birmingham, in the Birmingham area, be a member where we are members, and that is Inverness Country Club. ICCalabama.com for all the information I'm about to tell you. You can find it right there at ICCalabama.com. Tremendous golf course. I enjoy playing it all the time. Beautiful clubhouse with amazing food. Sometimes I just go by there for lunch. The food is just tremendous. Great membership. I've loved meeting the people out there at Inverness Country Club. If you're into tennis, they've also got a brand new tennis facility on the way. They're in construction right now on the tennis clubhouse. That's a great tennis facility. Child care is available if you need to have a meeting out there or you're just looking to squeeze in 9 or a tennis match real quick. You can see more, iccalabama.com, but we encourage you to set up a tour so you can see everything yourself. When I'm out there, I see our friend Aaron taking people on tours all the time so they can see Inverness Country Club. Here's the number, 205-991-8608. Ask for Aaron. Say, hey, next round's members at Inverness, we want to be too. 205-991-8608 or iccalabama.com.
Okay, so there's a new phrase that I'll give you in a second that's floating around college football circles. It has been since about December, but the chickens are about to come home to roost if something is not done. We have one transfer portal in January. Brown references all the time. They can't go anywhere. The fear is that we will get a number here coming up at the end of April and the start of May, blind transfers, where people will leave programs and blind transfer to other programs without entering the transfer portal and leave one school, enroll in another school. And that has been the fear that has been talked about for a long, long time. And so they're trying to come up with a way to penalize teams that sign players who transfer outside of the transfer portal.
Well, I think there's an easy way to do this now. I've thought about this. After I saw Brendan Sorsby's getting sued from Cincinnati, he takes $5 million, goes to Texas Tech to play for Joey McGuire, and Cincinnati's sitting there. We developed this quarterback. We gave him a scholarship, and now he's leaving us. We at least want $1 million out of this. I think you should take a percentage. I don't know what the percentage is.
I've got the rules proposed here.
Okay.
If you want
go
those.
ahead.
But Brendan Sorsby on that story, being sued by Cincinnati, him personally, not Texas Tech. He's gotten a $4 to $5 million deal with Texas Tech. He had a contract, as this story shows here, with Cincinnati. That was an 18-month contract that ran through December of 2026 that had a $1 million buyout. Cincinnati is suing Sorsby for that $1 million buyout. Now, usually franchises, teams, employers pay the buyouts. Oftentimes, we'll see if Texas Tech ends up paying this or if they take it off of the contract Sorsby pays, or if for some reason Cincinnati doesn't get any money. So that's another big story there. The NCAA Division I FBS Oversight Committee are proposing this set of penalties. They did this yesterday, that now will be floated around to all the athletic departments, school presidents, and all of that, and they'll see if they can make it a rule that will prohibit a head coach from all football, recruiting, and on-the-field coaching and administrative duties, can't be in the building until the 6th contest of the season. So if you are a coach or a program that signs a player outside of the portal window, in other words, if you leave right now or in April or May and you say you leave an SEC school and go to a Big Ten school or vice versa, the team that signs you, their coach, cannot do anything inside the facility, including coaching games, until the 6th regular season game of the year. Plus, your school will be fined 20% of your football budget. Now, we're talking millions of dollars there. And we would reduce your number of roster spots by 5 for the next season.
Yeah, well, then nobody's going to be transferring out in the late period.
So, but can we go back to the start of this? So the way this works is so Lance is on the roster at Tennessee.
I'll read it word for word.
Okay,
and you
go.
tell me. Blind transferring is a term that is being used now for a player that unenrolls at their current school and enrolls at a new school outside of January's transfer portal window. The possibility of players leaving after the spring semester and blind transferring is a real fear for some, while other programs are poised to add to their rosters.
So in other
That's
words,
from Pete Nakos on 3 Sports.
So Lance is at Tennessee and knows he's not getting on the field. So at the end of this semester coming up, and it's coming up very soon, at the end of this semester, he leaves Tennessee and enrolls at Louisville. And at Louisville, Jeff Brom's like, oh, Lance Taylor from Tennessee's on campus?
Wow.
That's amazing. We could use another tight end. You're a tight end, by the way.
That's okay.
We could use it's not an insult.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, we could use another tight end. And so all of a sudden, Lance Taylor gets invited out, and By the way, here's your NIL package, Lance. We don't have a scholarship for you. You're a walk-on, but there's your NIL package. So that's what they're suggesting is going to happen here.
Yeah, blind transferring, absolutely. And they go on, Pete Nakos writes, talking to a Power 4 general manager. I think schools are going to go after those kids. So if they have a signed agreement, schools and personnel staffs don't give a shit, quote, if we're going to be this transactional. There's going to be a ton of money that's going to need to be paid. That's just the reality of it. I'm sure it's going to happen. Schools are going to go after these kids. Schools should have deals in place that go from January to the end of the season. So that's where the buyout will be a factor. So this ties into the Sorsby thing and the buyouts. But without 2 transfer portal windows, most people believe, even with those penalties, that we're going to end up with 1,000 court cases coming up in April.
You'll have to.
Well, people might be pushing back, but I think if you get a little footing on this, like this is a fascinating case study to me because I think it would deter a lot. I mean, you're talking about some severe penalties there.
Yeah, just financially.
Yeah, and if this could work some of those kinks out where you don't have a lot of the blind transfers, then maybe you can take a look at what you can do for compensation during the transfer window. And to me, that comes back to, let's just use Brendan Sorsby. If he's getting $5 million, hey, the school that he's leaving is getting 40 or 50% of his contract. They have to be compensated.
Well, and I've said that's what will slow this portal stuff down all along. Now, I think to do what you're talking about right there, they've already got buyouts in. Some of these schools have gotten smart quick because they've put buyouts in their NIL deals, but I don't know how enforceable these things are. As you see with Brendan Sorsby, this is going to get tied up in court probably, much like the Jaden Rashada one did, which I don't think had a buyout in it. Again, collective bargaining, these guys as employees, and a mandatory compensation will slow this down. Mandatory compensation, if I get a player from your school, I owe you X. That's going to slow this down a lot. I just foresee the court case being, wait a minute, I left Tennessee a student in good standing. I enrolled at Louisville. How can they tell me where I enroll?
Okay.
They can't do that. I mean, that's going to be
a lot
the
of our
first argument.
conversation started off from the football coaches school side, protecting me from my guys leaving, going to another school. And Brown, you just flipped it over. Now you're looking at it from a player.
That's right.
One of the attorneys, Darren Heitner, who has represented players in the past, and it's America.
I think he was Betty Acco's attorney, by the way.
It is comical that the NCAA, or really anyone at all, believes that it can prevent an individual from obtaining an education from the institution of his or her choice, assuming the institution accepted that individual. It's one of the most un-American policies I've ever heard of.
He's 100% right. Now, there's a difference in restricting an education and restricting your ability to play football. There is a difference in that.
You can go to Tennessee and go to class.
That's right. We're not telling you can't transfer to Louisville, Mr. Taylor, and go to class. We're telling you can't transfer there and play football. Or you can, but your coach can't coach for the first 6 weeks, and your school's going to pay $20 million, so you better be a dang good tight end.
I mean, this is the closest model we've got to the NFL, and this would never happen in any NFL world because of a players' association. And again,
and compensation.
Compensation, they ultimately, but I think this is where we talk about these guys becoming university employees.
Yeah,
and once we get to that point, if it ever happens, this stuff's impossible.
That's what we're getting to here.
But this is another example of, as a fan, that sort of makes me upset because we keep, finding a hole in the system and we patch that hole without reworking the whole system.
Right.
And now, we've got 2 transfer portals, and this is what happened. Okay, we got 2 transfer portals. And people like Kirby Smart are upset because I have now prepared this team through spring football. And now I've got guys who are leaving, who knows they're going to be 2s or 3s and going somewhere else after I've coached them all spring long, and now they're not in my roster when we come back in August. That was making coaches mad. So they were like, let's get rid of the spring transfer. Let's just have one.
Yep.
So they did that, and all that did was open up this hole.
That's right.
That says, okay, now we could have 1,000 court cases because these guys are going to want to transfer still anyway.
It's almost like it's a leaky ship, and every time you fix a leak, the ship continues to sink, which is what's happening with the NCAA. There's no doubt.
Yeah, there is one good thing that is out there right now is 2 separate 5-week windows to hold a certain number of practices in the spring and in the summer to where you can do a certain number of your practices in the spring window and a certain number of your practices in the summer window. That to me would help if I was in Kirby Smart or any other coach's shoes. If I lose players I've worked with in the spring for a certain number of practices, it's almost the NFL OTAs models. They're just trying to get away from saying the OTA model. And then I'm able to get my team that's going to be there in the fall back in the summer for a certain number of practices.
Yeah.
That's the model I'm for. Get rid of spring football, get rid of the spring games. Let's go to May, June, July, August practices leading into the season. I think it's better for your health and everything else too.
We're going to end up running off really good coaches. I heard Nate Oates on a national show a couple of weeks ago, and they asked him about the NBA, and he kind of skirted around it, but didn't say, I think he really is drawn and fascinated by the NBA game. And, back to you bringing up Chris Beard's about to have his first losing season, or is having his first losing season as a head coach. Great coaches can't consistently win in today's college basketball. And I think that's one of the things that sucks about what's going on with Stephen Pearl and Auburn. He's got a completely made-over roster, and there are coaches that have coached for 10, 15 years that wouldn't have success possibly with this roster. It's just really, really difficult, and the only teams and organizations in football and basketball that will be consistent are the biggest spenders.
So Volfan, I think, though, has hit the point here in the chat. With all of these rules and rule changes done away to the portal and the blind transfer and all that, who is driving the change on these for the NCAA? Who's beating the drum? We've got to change this. We've got to change this. We've got to change this. Who's beating the drum? It's the coaches, right?
Yes.
And as Volfan says, they got to stop listening just to the coaches on rule changes, because who are the coaches ultimately out for the most?
I'm worried about me, my team, and my immediate problem.
Bingo.
Yeah. And
that's how you end up just patching holes, is let's just fix the immediate problem and not the down-the-road problem. Because I don't care about the down-the-road problem. I may not be the coach at State University for the down-the-road problem.
That's right.
I'm the coach today, and I need this problem fixed for next season so I can keep my job.
And a lot of coaches are wanting to do this to help me right now, while at the same time will be willing to do the same thing to another coach.
Yeah.
I don't want this guy stabbing me in the back, but I am willing to take that knife and stab this guy in the back to take away one of his players.
That's
that
right.
will help fill one of my holes.
Volfan's dead on. They got to quit just listening to the coaches on this stuff. There's got to be other voices that impact rule changes on this.
Greg Sankey, Tony Petitti working together on television rights and to shoot down Brown's billionaire from Texas Tech later in the show. That's out there. Before Brownie tells us about our friends at Bojangles and we get to the viewing menu, Nate Oates was on Sirius XM radio earlier this week about him going to the NBA. Quote, "We would have to win an awful lot of games here for me to make the jump. Probably the one who's done it best most recently is Brad Stevens. And, man, he went to a national championship at Butler. I've got to focus on winning a lot of games here. I love it here. I've got 2 young daughters. I'm not sure how conducive the NBA is to raising a family, but I love learning from the NBA. I love watching it. I don't know what the future holds. We're going to keep trying to win one here and see what happens."
Yeah, similar to what he told us back in spring at the Coca-Cola Conversations out at Regions when we point blank asked him if the NBA interested him. And I came away from his answer feeling better about him staying at Alabama long term than going to the NBA. Yeah. And Nate, say what you want about Nate Oates. I know he's made himself a villain, and I don't think he minds that. I always have thought he's about the most honest coach I've ever interviewed.
100%.
Sometimes honest to a fault.
But can you imagine if he had one off year?
What do you mean?
I mean, I just think people would be like, you just don't get any grace at all once you've established yourself. I mean, Chris Beard. I think people are probably going to start being like, "God damn, what's going on with Chris Beard?" And
my gosh, he's at Ole Miss. That's what's going on.
Yeah, it's Ole Miss, and it's his first losing year. But we're just in a different world where, again, when you have to remake the roster almost every single year,
it's tough.
Sometimes you're going to get a miss.
Yeah.
Bojangles brings us part of the show today before we get to the viewing menu.
Back for a limited time at Bojangles is the Bojangler. The Bojangler Deluxe as well. It's an Alaskan pollock fish fillet with Bo's famous seasoning. The Deluxe adds pickles, tomatoes, lettuce, cheese, and tartar sauce. It is fantastic. You can also start your day by putting up 3s with the triple-double biscuit and the protein on that biscuit. Sausage, egg, and bacon. Double the cheese, all on a scratch-made biscuit, just like that ham biscuit is. They got their 2 of those for $5 right now at Bojangles. Try all that with the Bojangles new iced coffee for a slam dunk to start your morning, and finish any day and any meal with a brand new strawberry cobbler, all at your local Bojangles, where you can make it bow time.
Okay, if you've worn contacts or glasses for years, you've thought about LASIK before. You've got friends that have had it done. You've heard me talking about it. See if you're a candidate. Start there. It's very simple. Call 205-969-8100, the number I called back in 2003. Ask for Amy. They will bring you in. You will have that hassle-free consultation, and you can find out if LASIK is right for you. Then you can get the details. The details for me, I didn't realize. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. I was wasting money each and every year on the contacts and solution. I got the procedure done, took 12 minutes for both eyes. I still have 20/15 vision 23 years later. Make the phone call that I made. For more information, Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business, michelsonlaservision.com.
All right. First off, I've been talking about it all week. Scream 7. It's today. I have gotten through the whole franchise, and now it's time to watch the new one. There's going to be a new Ghostface killer emerging in the quiet town where Sidney Prescott has built her new life, and her darkest fears are realized as her daughter becomes the next target. She's determined to protect her family and must face the horrors of her past to put an end to the bloodshed once and for all. Nev Campbell is returning. Courtney Cox, a.k.a. the Pride of Mountain Brook, also returning. McKenna Grace joining the cast along with Joel McHale. And reportedly, David Arquette and Matthew Lillard will be returning in this movie as well. So,
is that where Cox and Arquette met before getting married?
I think so.
Was it on that set?
Yep, I'm pretty sure it was. And Matthew Lillard, I don't know if you saw this, but Quentin Tarantino named him as one of the 3 worst actors.
Yeah. Wow. He actually named Paul Dano as the worst actor in SAG, which
I don't get that.
There's an ideological thing going on there.
Yeah.
Paul Dano is very outspoken about some things going on in the Middle East, and Tarantino lives in Tel Aviv, so there's a clash there.
Okay.
I didn't get the Paul. I didn't know there was something there, but I get the Matthew Lillard though.
Oh no, he's great. Yeah.
Oh really? As Shaggy?
Well, as Shaggy, I think he embodies the character perfectly. He's great in Scream as Stu Macher. And have you ever seen the movie SLC Punk?
I have not.
Nope. It is a fantastic drama where he really shows off his acting chops.
Okay.
So
I'm just wondering why he doesn't get any roles. Because the only thing I've seen him in is Scream, and I didn't see Scooby-Doo. There was something else, Summer Catch maybe? I think he was in Summer Catch. Wasn't he the catcher?
Summer Catch?
I don't know.
No, that was it wasn't that. It was
Fever Pitch.
Yeah, we were talking about Goodwill Hunting in the town.
Dunaway brought up Fever Pitch.
And Departed.
Fever Pitch.
that was a great deep cut
moment. Yeah.
That was the Jimmy Fallon baseball movie, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was.
Oh.
Yeah. And that interviews with the shooter. Yeah,
yeah, Pat Bradley. Yeah.
Yep, I was there. I think, or at least when it was referenced when he was on again. Next up, re-release in theaters, and also a Peacock pick for Scott. Scott, have you seen The Revenant?
No, I have not.
Okay, well, it's celebrating its 10th anniversary today. A frontiersman on a fur trading expedition in the 1820s fights for survival after being mauled by a bear and left for dead by members of his own hunting team. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio, and this was the movie that got him his first Oscar.
Yeah, he played, Hugo Glass, Howard Glass, whoever the explorer was. It was obviously a little sensationalized. Cinematography's great. I was so excited about that. I remember we were at Jocks when that movie came out, and going to see it was a hard watch. Like, the final scene between him and Tom Hardy is great. I mean, there's great moments in it. I thought Leo did a great job with it, but it's a long, difficult watch.
Yeah, it's not the best Leo movie, but I think it's definitely still worth a watch. Next up on Hulu, this actually came out yesterday on ABC, but because of the whole things airing and then immediately going to Hulu, I got confused on my dates. This Scrubs revival series.
You got killed yesterday by a couple people in my text thread for not bringing that up.
Yes, I got absolutely just destroyed in the chat and apparently in a text thread as well for not bringing up the Scrubs revival. It was a beloved comedy series, and JD and Turk are coming back as experienced doctors, mentoring a new generation of interns at the evolved Sacred Heart Hospital, exploring if JD's life lived up to his daydreams while testing if the legendary bromance still holds up.
I have never seen Scrubs, but I will tell you, those two wear me out on the T-Mobile commercials.
Watched every episode originally. Original run was a great show. Will not watch 1 second of the reboot.
Oh, wow.
Wow. But are those guys that obnoxious together?
It was a groundbreaking show by the way they did it.
Yes, it could be obnoxious. I mean, you had to be. Yes.
Yes.
I mean, you see it on the T-Mobile commercials, right?
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen the T-Mobile
Oh
commercials.
man, they wear them out.
No,
They've been doing it for
I
years.
love the original run. Will not give the reboot a look because I don't want it to ruin my memory of the first go around.
I got you.
I will need to hear great feedback that it's as good as the first go around,
Yeah, which you probably will not hear.
And I just don't think it can be because it's a different time, you know, and television has changed so much.
That's true. And then finally, on Max tonight, I might catch this movie if I have time after Scream 7. There's a trash story coming up later today that makes me want to watch this movie, and that is Inception. It's been a long time since I've watched this movie, and I think it's about time for a repeat viewing.
It's one of my favorite of all time. Such a great
Just
movie.
not intelligent enough to watch Christopher Nolan stuff.
Such a good movie. Yeah.
And that's what Tyler is watching, brought to you by our friends at Michelson, also New York Butcher Shop, where LT is planning on Jack's 21st birthday already, getting him a nice
Get him a steak.
Yeah, he'll get a steak. We will probably pick up steaks tomorrow or Saturday from the New York Butcher Shop. Just fantastic place. Just one-stop dinner shop from the great meats. The side dishes made in-house fresh every single day. Fantastic selection of fine wines and desserts as well. Get in, see Jim and that great staff of butchers. 2 locations, the original Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Rare quality, well-done service. It is the New York Butcher Shop.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Let's go racing. It's time for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the Garage Experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobile One Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, hour number 2 of the show. Chris Doering joins the show to start hour number 3. Coming off of his hosting Kirby Smart and Mario Cristobal, John Summerall, Dan Mullen at the Spurrier Awards. We'll hear from Doering, I assume, on some behind-the-scenes stories of that and some other things that Brownie has booked him for today. Always interesting when Doering joins the show in about an hour. Kalshi, a lot of fun on basketball last night with positions on Kalshi. Music awards, the State of the Union. There's always something at Kalshi that is fun to take a position on and just get into a conversation with other people around the world about how they see the world.
Yeah, take advantage of this poly market and how to trade using Kalshi. Now that it's legally available in all 50 states, you're sitting in your cubicle, you're bored at work, download Kalshi. First step right there. Put in that code TNR. Get $10 when you trade $10. Also, very important at Kalshi, you can trade in and out of positions for profit, and it teaches you how to eat a loss. I mean, this is almost just like the stock market, Brown. You did it last week. Canada's down a goal. They score. They take it to overtime. Without even getting into overtime, you cash out.
That's right. I gave up my position there, turned a nice little gain. And you can do that. You can. You don't always have to eat your losses right there at Kalshi. That's what separates this. Kalshi.com or the Kalshi app, code TNR. You can play everything from like men's college basketball national champion, Michigan, the lead dog right there, 21% right now at Kalshi. Duke at 19%, Arizona at 13%. Play futures like that. Play games coming up over the weekend in the SEC and throughout the country, all at Kalshi. Kalshi.com and the Kalshi app. Don't forget code TNR. That gets you $10 on your first $10 position when you go to Kalshi or Kalshi.com or download the Kalshi app, code TNR.
Jacksonville State over Delaware, 76% right now.
Rock Chalk Gamecock.
Yeah. Is that Delaware? Am I right about that, Forrester?
That is correct.
I'll tell you the one thing I learned very quickly on Kalshi is identifying teams by their sneaker colors.
Yeah, you got to know that. Yeah, you got to know that. Yeah.
Here we go. Let me scroll down to that. There we go.
There you go. There's some sneaker color action. That's what I was just talking about.
Yeah. All right.
I've got those Delaware sneakers.
You're a blue head.
You call them a Rams sneaker, don't you? All right. So LT early or the end of last week said what we need to do one day is national championship draft. So I turn it over to you. Tell us what we're doing.
Well, I think this is kind of fascinating because we saw the swing of power, from the SEC to the Big Ten as far as controlling college football at the top, winning 3 consecutive national championships. And I think there was a time if we took the 2 big money makers, football, men's basketball, and you took all 16 programs and you're like, you've got to give me the next national championship of football or basketball, everybody would have gone Alabama or Georgia football, 1A, 1B. Not even close.
Yes.
I just wonder how the exercise goes now that we're in NIL and the SEC isn't winning national championships in football. Look, they're coming off winning basketball with the Florida Gators and Todd Golden. But if we were to do a snake draft, and I don't care who goes first.
I'll let you go first, and I'll go second, and Brown can have the swing 3 and 4.
I feel good. I would want to go first because I will take the Florida Gators in basketball.
And you could get it this year.
Yeah, I mean, I would pass. They're probably not the best team in college basketball, but they could win it this year. But I think moving forward, I feel better about Todd Golden in this Florida basketball than I do anything going on in football in the SEC.
So what are we going to do? We're going to do 5? I mean, I don't think
that's fine.
Yeah, we're not to get past 5. Yeah.
It was more of an exercise than actually.
Yeah, I just want to see.
Score.
I mean, 5's fine because I just want to see where football, in what direction we go here.
I would go second, and I ironically would take Arkansas basketball.
Oh, wow. I'm going to take Georgia football. And then with my second pick, I really thought I could get Arkansas basketball right here. I didn't think he'd go that quick.
Yeah.
Calipari wins one everywhere he goes, just about. So,
and they're really good this year, and I think they'll be good. I think they got money behind the program there, which is why I chose it. It's okay to discuss these a little bit as we go along to keep this a little interesting.
I'll tell you what.
I mean, Florida does seem like right now is a good bet, but what are they going to look like as they sort of cycle through these big guys they've got up front? He hit some home runs with the Houks and the Condons and the Halliburtons. I don't know all.
I think he plays, much like Oates. I think Golden's got a fun system.
Yeah.
I think obviously he's got a proven track record coming off winning a national championship. So I think a lot of people are going to gravitate. And let's face it, I mean, Florida's, I don't know how well locked in the NIL is right now for John Summerall, but Todd Golden's got it going pretty good in basketball.
I agree.
So I don't think it's going anywhere.
So I'll go Georgia football and Texas football.
Texas football is the one I debated there, Brownie, because
I don't feel great about it, honestly.
Because of the money that's involved with it.
I mean, and you got Sark coaching. That's the problem.
Well, it has been,
Yeah. So you've gone Georgia and Texas in football,
Yeah,
Florida and Arkansas in basketball.
I'm the standard SEC fan. I took 2 football teams. Y'all both went basketball.
I'll take my first football team, and I will go LSU football because they have done it a lot in different formats since 2002.
Yeah, Kiffin scared me off a little bit, but the other side of that is Saban won one. Obviously, he's great. Miles won one, average football coach. Orgeron won one, below average football coach. Then there's the Brian Kelly, which is puzzling.
Yeah, I wonder if it's such a different era, and that was kind of the beginning, showing Brian Kelly couldn't get it done at LSU. So I don't have a lot of confidence in Sark. I don't have a lot of confidence in Kiffin, but I can see why you guys went that direction. Kind of want to grab one in football, so I think I'm going to take Alabama.
Can't believe we went that deep.
Yep.
That's where we are now.
I mean, that's where we are. And then I'm going to come back, and I think I'm going to go back to basketball, and I think I'm going to take the Tennessee Volunteers.
Wow. Ooh. Rick Barnes cannot get over that hump.
Oof. Oh.
Did you like that pick, Jim?
Taylor, can you run a bucket in here for me?
You didn't like that, Jim?
I feel a lot better about Rick Barnes than Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Well,
first off, Rick Barnes can see the pearly gates.
Wow. I mean, look, a couple of years ago, we'd have done a death pull out and put Kiffin right there with him.
Yeah. Back to me.
Boy, things are getting thin now.
Yeah.
So if you're just joining us, national championship draft from all SEC basketball and football programs. That's all we can choose from.
Yeah, and just trying to show a point on where SEC football has gone. I mean, it took us to the 3rd pick. I mean, went Florida hoops, Arkansas hoops, then Georgia football, Texas football. We went on a run, went 4 straight footballs after that. Back basketball with Tennessee, the one that Dunaway puked on there. If we had a different coach at Kentucky, I would have gone that direction.
Well, I mean,
you will eventually.
They can make a change.
Yeah.
They can make a change.
I'm not saying Pope gets fired this year. I'm just saying if he continues not to win one, you'll get a change.
And by the way, I did pull out the first non-national champion ever with the Tennessee Vols because Florida, Arkansas, both done in the hoops.
Yep.
Georgia football, Texas football, LSU football, Alabama football. So I'm a pioneer here.
You are.
You're top of Everest.
Yeah.
But you see how difficult this gets
Yes,
because
I do.
you've got a lot of great programs that you feel are going to be in the college football playoff. You got a lot of great basketball programs you feel like can get to the second weekend of the tournament. But outside, really, I don't even feel great about Arkansas hoops.
I will tell you, well, I'm looking at money.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Okay, and I think Arkansas basketball has money to make a difference. And this is worth a discussion. I'm not picking them, but does anybody really know what the finances are behind Oklahoma
Athletics Oklahoma
I don't.
football. Like, is it good? Is it not good?
I don't.
I need to know. I
Well,
need to text Dusty Dvorak and ask him what the NIL setup is at Oklahoma. Is it good? Is it not good?
Here's my assumption. If you don't hear reports of how good it is, I always assume it's average or bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because it seems like anybody that's got a robust NIL is leaking it out so it gets reported on or whatever. I just always assume if you don't hear it reported on, it must not be great.
But for Jim Nagy to take that job, and I would think it is more of a secure job than the director of the Senior Bowl, but still to make that move, I would assume that he was guaranteed you're going to get X amount, and I think there's got to be a commitment to that program. And by the way, they were really good this year, and they weren't great offensively.
Yeah. No, they really were. I'm going to skip over them, though, and I'm going to choose Florida football.
Yeah, I had them on my next list here. All right, I get 2 picks. So I'm going to take Bama Hoops.
And I think a lot of people would be surprised it went all the way to number 9 for Bama Hoops.
Yep. And then I am going to pioneer as well here and go Texas A&M football.
I would have probably gone A&M football next. And again, that's a...
all the research. They've never done anything with it, but all the resources you could ask for.
You always make it sound like they never will when you talk about it.
I have my doubts. Look, we are what are we pick here? 13th pick before I took them. We're running out of options here in the SEC.
I'll go Oklahoma football.
All right.
Okay, Oklahoma football it is. And again,
Your final 2 picks.
They were hosting a home game last year. So I
feel like I got value in my pick there.
Well, pick 14 for a team that was just in the playoffs hosting. Yeah, that's not bad. I agree with you.
I am going to take Kentucky basketball.
I can't believe. Now, there's the one. You tell Kentucky fans we did this exercise and their hoops team fell to number 16.
Yeah, and there is nobody else in football that's going to win this. So I am going to go back basketball, and I am actually going to take...
You're going to end up with 4 basketball teams in your 5.
By the way, the SEC only has 1 team that's been to 2 Final Fours.
I'm going to take
since
Texas
2019,
basketball.
right?
1 team that's been to 2 Final Fours since 2019.
I'm taking
Am I
Texas.
right about that?
Probably.
Auburn?
Yeah.
Texas basketball.
Texas basketball.
I like Sean Miller.
I like him a lot, too.
They got a Lance.
So there, I got my 5.
You know what your issue is with Texas basketball? They got a fouling disease.
Yeah. And again, they've never won in that. I've got.
You got Florida basketball, Bama football, Tennessee basketball, Kentucky basketball, and Texas basketball.
Yeah, so 2 of my 5 have never done it.
That is right. Jim is making his final pick. He's got Arkansas hoops, LSU football, Florida football, Oklahoma football.
How many football programs have we not? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 footballs.
You've got Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Auburn, Mississippi State, South Carolina, Arkansas. Are you playing golf today?
I'm not playing golf today.
I was just going to see if you wanted to make your buddies happy and take
Auburn
a flyer
hoops,
on Auburn on
hoops.
something. And
Yeah.
I wonder if you would take football or basketball first.
Okay, in basketball, we've got Florida, Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky, and Texas in basketball.
No, Texas basketball's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what. Those
This
are the
would
ones
be
we
pick.
take.
Okay, yeah, I
Florida,
got you, okay.
Arkansas,
Yeah,
Tennessee.
okay.
So the 7th best basketball program out there, or the 9th best football program.
Historically, you go 9th best football.
I think so too. But who is that?
I don't know. Good luck.
I probably would take a flyer on Tennessee
it does feel like
next.
we're either Tennessee or Auburn in football, or Auburn and somebody in basketball. It seems like where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Oklahoma traditionally has been really good at basketball, and they're going to make a change.
Yeah, I'm going to take Tennessee football.
Brown with the last pick of the draft. And I am interested to see how this breaks down football to basketball.
Well, we went basketball in the first 2 picks. With, I think, a little wink and a nod that we think possibly this year it could happen.
Yeah, Florida pick right out of the chute's pretty good.
So 6 of 14 have been basketball.
Yeah.
I have that record as well.
Yeah. So if you go basketball here, basically half the field is basketball.
This is your last
pressure
pick?
me.
This
It is my final pick, yeah.
It's everybody's final pick, correct?
Yeah, everybody's made their final pick but me. And I'm at a crossroads in life here.
Okay, Ole Miss has not been selected on anything.
They have not, understandably.
Auburn on either.
Yeah, Vanderbilt, Missouri,
I mean, you get played up as the neutral guy on this show. It's a great opportunity for you to pick Auburn in something right here.
Which one do I have more faith in right now?
I mean, South Carolina and Mississippi State are not going to win it.
I'm
anything.
not even thinking about that.
I don't think Missouri can win it in anything. I don't think Vanderbilt can.
Yeah.
I think you almost have to go Auburn basketball or Ole Miss.
I mean, I'm going to play history here and take Auburn football over Auburn basketball.
Okay. Wow.
So Jim ends with Arkansas hoops, LSU football, Florida football, Oklahoma football, Tennessee football.
Well, let's do 6 so I can circle back and get Auburn basketball off the board. I mean, they were in the Final Four last year, guys.
They were. Yeah, I'm prisoner of the moment right now. I mean, it is not going well. They are borderline to make the tournament at this point.
But that's showing no faith in our guy.
Oh, I love Steven, but I mean,
I know, but I mean, it is hard to imagine that Steven is following the greatest coach in Auburn athletics that didn't win a national championship, but Steven's going to win one. Like, I feel very confident that Steven will never win a national championship, and that's no shot at him.
I mean, his father is a Hall of Fame coach.
Well, I mean, how many active coaches right now in college basketball have won a national championship? 5, 6?
Hurley, Self,
Izzo,
Patino,
Calipari,
Cal, and that may be it.
So Arkansas is the only basketball pick I had.
That is correct.
And then I had LSU, Florida, Oklahoma, and Tennessee.
That ain't
football.
like Jimmy Buckets, man.
Well, Lance football went all basketball. I mean, you two, I don't know who you two are anymore. I at least mixed mine up a little bit. No, I didn't. I only had one basketball program. It was Alabama. I went strong football.
I did do all the hoops.
Yeah, I was true to my roots.
Yeah. So who's the most glaring one we left out? On the basketball side, we did Florida, Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky, and Texas. And on the football, we did Georgia, Texas, LSU, Alabama, Florida, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Auburn.
I really don't think there's a glaring football omission. The glaring basketball omission, based on their recent success, program-wise, is Auburn.
Yeah. But again, like, we're talking about programs that have never won a national championship, and we've got some included here. And, you know, it is a different era. Indiana's coming off their first ever national championship that they won in football this year. But, I mean, I don't feel good about anything that is left. I just don't see any of those teams winning a national championship.
Only 4 programs, am I right, got both football and basketball. That was Tennessee, Alabama, of course, of our show, Florida, and Texas.
Yes.
Am I right about that?
Yep.
And if you were to do one combination.
So if I get both teams?
Yeah. I think I would go Alabama. Yeah. Would you Alabama?
I mean, that's the highest combo of our draft, if you just look at it that way.
Well, I think if you look at, you know, Elite 8 and Final Four the last 2 years, and Alabama was in the playoffs and first team out of the playoffs, I think it's going to be hard to find a better combination.
Well, in combination coaches, it's not even close.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think you can find a combo of coaches in the 16 schools, men's basketball, football, as good as what you get with Nate Oates and Kayla DeBoer.
We have not done a show on Jocks since June of 2021. Is that right?
Yeah, and I missed the last show.
Correct, yes. Yeah. You were in Montana?
I was, yes.
Yeah. Just to show you how your body just gets used to things. For a moment, I thought we were up against our 20 break there as we were having this discussion.
How weird. We haven't taken a 20 break in forever.
I was looking at the clock. I was like, ooh, we're already at 20 after. We need to take a break.
Like 3 years since we've done that.
Yeah, but it was all the time at Jogs. We'd have a 20 and 40 break.
You have to remember, I had 16, 17, 20 years of doing that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And I just glanced up quickly and saw, God, it's already 20 after, and we haven't finished this yet.
And there was not, to their credit, there were not many things they stayed on us about it, Jogs. They let us do our thing. Ryan Haney was a tremendous guy to work for. Let us do our thing. Bruce Gilbert, the corporate guy, the one thing they would stay on us about is, let's try to hit those breaks somewhere close to 20 and 40 if we could.
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere in the ballpark we'll take right now.
Yeah. I was notorious, and then to 53, and then us having like a 60-second segment before we get to the top of the hour.
They did not like that on the corporate side.
They drove them crazy.
Yeah. They hated that.
Yeah, it drove them crazy. I felt like I gave us like 45 minutes or 50 minutes of little interruption sports talk, and then a lot of commercial breaks. Of which we had one sales guy who believed we put all of his spots into that one and pandered to Lance of all of Lance's spots somewhere else.
Hey,
which may or may not have been true all those years.
Now that we can talk about it.
Real quick, if Bucky wasn't struggling the last couple of weeks, do you think we would have had A&M?
I don't think I'd have gone that quick. I love me some Bucky, but I would need to see a little more.
Right, we do after 20 minutes after the hour, though, need to remind you that our friends at NASCAR are coming back to Talladega. The wonderful folks at the Jack Links 500 are back. The title sponsor's back. All the fun with the Bigfoot walking through the Talladega woods is back, and you can be part of the fun. Buy your tickets today, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. That number is 877-462-3342 if you're like me and you don't like to figure out the letters and number combinations, but 877-GO-TO-DEGA. The phone number there. Follow them on all their social platforms, Talladega Superspeedway and at Talladega. The race is April the 27th. The whole racing weekend is April 25th through the 27th. That includes the ARCA race, the O'Reilly Auto Part race, doubleheader on Saturday, and, of course, the big race at Jack Links 500 on Sunday. They got the camping out there as always. And don't forget the Talladega Garage Experience, where you can go inside the garage area and watch your favorite team work on their cars, and crew chiefs and everybody going back and forth, up close and personal. Upgrade your ticket, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And our friends at Hemp Hill, which brings you Lance's Lock every day. A winning night last night?
Yeah, we had a winning night last night. We almost had a great night, but we had Vanderbilt minus the 7.5. Minus the 8.5. They end up winning by 8. We ended up with a 4-2 night, though. So nice night last night at lanceslock.com. We've got more winners up and available for you tonight, including a free winner. You get that every single day on the site at lanceslock.com. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Whether you experience the plumbing, heating, or cooling issues, home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. HempHillServices.com for more information. What will the temperature be this weekend?
Oh, 70s. Very nice this weekend.
Okay, so there you go. Make sure that that cooling is ready to keep up with this changing weather. Our friends at Hemp Hill can handle it.
Our friends at Field of 68 last week, and I've been saving this, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 basketball coaches that they think will consider retirement after this year.
Are they suggesting this is because of the state of college athletics?
Some of them are just where they are in their careers.
Right.
But 8 guys that they will not be surprised that retire at the end of the year. Rick Barnes is one of those.
Yeah, no surprise at all. Look, he's had an incredible career. The one thing that has eluded him has been Final Fours. He's got the one at Texas, and he's had some really, really good Tennessee teams. Like, I remember a bracket challenge not long ago where I think I wasn't I was probably in the minority, but I think other people had Tennessee winning the entire thing. But that's kind of eluded him. He's had a great career. Obviously, he's got a ton of wins, but that would not surprise me. We thought it would happen last year with Zakai Ziegler, that relationship they had and Ziegler going on, and you thought that he might shut it down then.
But in the event he does, he has left that program infinitely better than he found it.
Oh, that'd be an interesting job to see who comes there.
I agree.
And takes it.
Because it's a really good program right now. I think they get good fan support. Again, we never know what the NIL truly is at some of these places.
And that was the basis off of the Field of 68 conversation was look at the jobs that are about to be open, they think, in the near future.
That's a good one. I think you'd get a good list at that job.
Just because Nate Oates came up, is Tom Izzo on this list? Because Michigan State is one of those jobs.
They did not have Izzo on this list.
Wow. That's very interesting to me. Because watching him, he looks like he is aged.
He looks grumpy.
Like a United States president.
Kelvin Sampson, who is 70. I forget if Barnes is 70 yet or not, but Sampson is 70, already in place for his son to take over.
That one's teed up right there. And
boy, he wants one so bad. He's been so close.
He has been.
But, I mean, you can't – I don't think – it's different for a 38-year-old quarterback to be like, I'm going to give it one more year.
Right.
I've got a ready-made roster. For a 70-year-old head coach, if you sit and wait to win a national championship – Kelvin Sampson, Rick Barnes,
doing it again. He wanted a second one.
Especially when you know you're delaying your son being the head coach, and that may not have been the case officially with the Pearl family, but it is officially with the Sampson family.
So I don't blame him for getting out, and we'll see what happens. They are one of the best teams right now.
Field of 68 thinks Bill Self is in play. 63 years old, health issues. They think this could be it for Bill Self.
You want to talk about a peach of a job open. I mean, Kansas is an absolute machine. Everybody wins there.
I think third most or fourth most Final Fours. North Carolina's got the most. But, yeah, that would be one of those jobs that, I mean, you line them up at the door, and Bill Self, you wonder the Darren Peterson saga, like how much that's really worn him down. Like, am I going to have to deal? Because Kansas is one of these places that you can go out and you get the best player on the board for the most money, and they're going to have NIL to support that. But do you want to deal with that situation year in and year out if that's what it becomes?
Mark Few, age 63. There's a documentary about Mark Few building of Gonzaga.
I want to see that. Where is it?
I saw it earlier.
Like
I'll find it
Fubo or
for you.
something?
It's on Tubi, actually, now that you bring it up. It's on Tubi, and it debuts March 1st, I think, which is surprisingly this weekend.
I get peppered with commercials on Tubi.
Surprisingly this
Tubi's
weekend.
actually got some good shows. The production quality is not good, and you do watch a lot of commercials. I want to see Mark Few win one. I know that's kind of
probably not going to happen this year.
Not
If he
believable.
retired, I wonder how appealing that job. Okay.
Oh, let's do that right after the commercial
Okay.
break.
All right.
Because I have a point.
Okay.
Are we going to go back and look at these jobs?
I'll hold.
Greg McDermott, Dana Altman, Thad Matta, and Anthony Grant of Dayton is a guy that they put on the list.
You ran through those. Go back.
Greg McDermott.
Okay. Yeah.
Dana Altman.
At Oregon. I mean, both of those programs have dropped off significantly.
Thad Matta, who I think's at Butler.
He is.
And then Anthony Grant, who's got another good Dayton team, but can't believe Anthony's thinking about retirement. But they say retirement's in play for those 8 coaches, the field of 68. When we come back, it feels like somebody was at Gonzaga and had Gonzaga good before Mark Few.
Oh,
right?
Dana Altman.
Yeah, Dana Altman.
It was not Dana Altman.
No, it was
that was Creighton.
Monson.
Yeah, Dan Monson.
Dan Monson. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, he was.
But I think what you were about to say is, I wonder what Gonzaga will be without Mark Few. Is that what you were about to say?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so when we come back, are there certain programs that we just got used to being good that ended up just being one great coach? And I'll throw this out as an example because they play tonight. Tennessee women. It turns out it was just Pat Summitt, it looks like.
All right.
It wasn't anything to do with Tennessee's attendance and anything else because they haven't been good since her. Think about that. We'll talk about that, and I'll get to our 4 downs and a lot more coming up on the show that's brought to you today by our friends at JohnsonRVCenter.com. It's time for the open up the house with the Johnson family.
That's right. The old open house, so you can see everything right there at Johnston RV Center. See your future of going to see America in an RV from Johnston RV Center. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman. 334 Indicator is where you find Johnston RV Center. And as Jim mentioned, the open house is this weekend. Special pricing on select units called the major markdown models. Those are the special units there. Absolute lowest prices offered on these units, and it's good only during the event Friday, Saturday, Sunday of this week. 8:30 to 6 on Friday and Saturday, 10 to 5 on Sunday. Everything from entry-level travel trailers to luxurious Riverstone special financing. Both local and national banks are there for the event. So you're going to get great financing options there as well, all right? So go see them. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 Indicator, and always online, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777. Or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys. Because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical office is Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Let's go racing. It's time for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the Garage Experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobile One Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
We're getting ready for baseball to start. If you're a big Major League Baseball fan, Forrester's dialed into college baseball right now. Forrester, have you seen the ABS, the Major League Baseball umpiring assist system? I don't know what the rules are and when I can challenge or what during the season, but I've watched a cut-up of the spring training game. There was one umpire, I think it was yesterday, maybe it was the day before yesterday, that had, just in the cut-up video, 7 pitches overturned on the balls and the strikes. The catcher this is the signal for a review, and the catcher calls for it or the batter calls for it instantly. And they're quick about the ruling, but the stoppage of play is unreal.
Oh, yeah. How do you have a fluid game at all?
I thought I saw that there were 5 straight in one of the spring games, 5 straight reviews. So I don't know what the limitations are on how often you can appeal.
Teams get 2 challenges per game, retaining them if they're successful. And they challenge instantly by tapping their hat and helmet. Have you seen any of it, Forrester?
A little bit. I'm looking at a clip from the Pirates and Red Sox the other day. They had in just over an inning, they had 3 calls overturned.
Yeah, and they were all successful. The umpire was horrible. Like the first one, it looked like it was down the middle, and the catcher caught the ball and instantly went like that. And the umpire says the catcher is challenging. And then it's like tennis. It shows up on the big screen.
Yeah.
And it lights up if it's a strike, if it just misses. And, it was almost right down the middle.
What's interesting to me, though, about...
So they get it right.
Yeah.
And then a couple of pitches later, he calls a strike, maybe the next pitch that's inside by a mile. He rings it up as a strike, and the batter's like, it's not even close. And these umpires are like, I got to be hating life.
Oh, they are.
This will be an easy way for people to lose their assignment, right?
Oh, yeah. Like you get turned over X amount of times.
Like this dude just had 4 tap outs, and all of them got overturned.
What's wild, though, is that they leave it up to the player Because they only get 2 challenges, right?
Yeah,
And-
well, to your point, Olsen and Skeens faced each other yesterday.
Yeah.
Braves and Pirates. And Olsen, he says, he threw a cutter that just, I was flat-footed and, thought it was a strike, but it was spring training. Let's see how this works. He goes, there's no way I would have challenged it during the regular season.
Right.
But I just tapped my helmet, and they review it, and there's just a little pixel between the strike and the ball, like it just missed. And they asked Skeens about it after the game, and he goes, well, I guess I got to throw that one 0.01 inch closer to the strike zone next time.
He could probably do it, by the way. He
Yeah.
could probably make that adjustment.
But that's how close it is.
I'm just saying, if you only get 2, dude just is pissed and he uses one in the second inning. Like, I'd kind of like to have that for the ninth inning. Let's don't burn through these.
Yeah, just out of instinct of blowing
right.
the call.
Yeah.
Because you watch it in college basketball right now, every play, I mean, it could be 18 minutes and 38 seconds
doing
going
that
the first
right,
half, and they look over the bench. They're like,
let's replay this. Let's
replay
yeah.
that.
Even the stuff that's not available for replay, they're wanting the bench to replay
Dude,
it.
it's just out of bounds with 7 seconds in the shot clock and 18 minutes in the
I
first
know.
half. We're good. If we don't get this call
that's
here,
right.
we're fine.
I get the boundary calls. I don't know how we're reviewing balls and strikes.
Yeah, me too. Bojangles gets us into a quick conversation before four downs about one coach, one program. Is the program, can it survive one major coach? We'll talk about Gonzaga after this.
Hey, back for a limited time right now. Bojangles is the Bojangler and the Bojangler Deluxe. Alaskan pollock fish fillet with Bo's famous seasoning. The Deluxe adds pickles, tomatoes, lettuce, cheese, and tartar sauce. Start your day putting up 3s with a triple-double biscuit. Triple the protein, sausage, egg, and bacon, and double the cheese. And you combine it all on a scratch-made biscuit, like all those great biscuits at Bojangles. Right now, you can get the ham biscuit 2 for $5. Try all of that at breakfast with the Bojangles new iced coffee for a slam dunk. And finish any meal the right way with a brand new strawberry cobbler, all at your local Bojangles, where you can always make it bow time.
Okay, so is Gonzaga bigger than Mark Few, Brownie?
I mean, I don't know. Dan Monson had small success there enough. He cashed in. I think he took the Minnesota job.
He did, and it fell apart quickly.
Yeah, in hindsight, you're like, I would never leave Gonzaga for Minnesota right now, I don't
But
think.
since then, they built a really cool on-campus arena.
They've got
the attendance looks to be good.
A better conference situation.
Moving to the Pac-12.
Yeah, much better.
Than what they've been in.
Than what they've been.
So, I mean, I think it would draw a pretty good job. I mean, here's the thing we always talk about is, man, you are following the legend there. I don't think in this world, like Mark Few can't even right now do what Mark Few used to do. You know what I'm saying?
They look a little less than.
Yeah, in this new world, I mean, there is no way NIL-wise Gonzaga can keep up with the big dogs.
I still think they're really good this year. I know they had that weird loss in conference. Was it Portland? Yeah,
Portland beat them the other night.
And Portland beat them they beat Portland by 39 last night.
Yeah, the rematch.
So I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I'd be shocked if Gonzaga is not to the second weekend again.
Yeah,
so that shows you, even if they're having an off year, they're still ranked in the top 10, and they're still going to be a Sweet 16
I have to go
team.
follow Mark Few, try to accomplish what Mark Few accomplished, and do it on a lesser NIL budget than most of the rest of basketball.
But in fairness, though, at Gonzaga, I don't know what the booster situation is like, but they don't have to deal with football. So
that's true. All the money goes to basketball.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do feel like we may look back on Gonzaga one day and say it was one moment in time, Mark Few.
Yeah, it feels different than Brad Stevens at Butler. You know, Butler's had arguably as much success in 2 years as you can have at that level, but Gonzaga has just every freaking year they're Elite Eight good.
yeah, and everyone always says we can be the Gonzaga of the South, or we can be the Gonzaga of the Northeast, we could be the Gonzaga of Texas. You know, they're always comparing. We can be Gonzaga off of what they've done. It'll be interesting to see what they are post-Mark.
Yeah, they're going to have to get creative because, you know, if you did, you know, not to Randy Bennett, if we're going same conference with St. Mary's, going out and getting Australians, but Few is able to identify a couple of international players here and able to identify that 3-star guy that they develop into something else. But in today's NIL, you just wonder, Gonzaga used to be a destination place, but you wonder they start developing guys and they take off after a year.
I thought of this because of Tennessee women's basketball, because you brought it up to Clay a couple of weeks ago that they're going to have to change coaches again there, and they have been chasing Pat Summitt and what that was. In fairness, when Pat Summitt had Tennessee's women going, there were just a handful of women's basketball programs that cared as much as Tennessee did.
Yeah.
And the pool has gotten better. It's almost like, gymnastics and college gymnastics. For a while there were a handful that only cared about it. Now more people care about it. Softball. I mean, the longer the sport's around, more people start caring about it. And women's basketball, I felt like, more people care about it now. So there's more parity in the sport than was when Pat was doing it. Not that Pat wasn't great, but it ends up maybe Tennessee women's basketball was more about Pat Summitt than it was about Tennessee women's basketball.
So the reason I brought it up is there's always been this rumor that Tony Vitello was upset because he lost some of his NIL money, a good portion of his NIL money, because it got shifted to women's basketball, and that's one reason he was looking to get out and took the Giants job. I don't know if Clay said he didn't know if it's true or not. I don't know if it's true or not. But my point to Clay was that was money not well spent, if so, because you lost your national championship coach to Major League Baseball, and you're about to have to fire a basketball coach. I assume. I don't know women's basketball well enough, but they are chasing the Pat Summitt era, and they've never been anywhere close.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best eras we've
retired.
had in women's basketball are Pat Summitt and obviously what Gino did at UConn. But back to when I actually would watch maybe the final game when you were a kid and you just didn't have a lot of different options and you'd watch the national championship. I remember La Tech, Texas, UCLA, USC, Auburn. I mean, there were so many different good teams, and then, Kim Mulkey from Baylor to LSU. So
Champion took Auburn to back-to-back Final Fours, I think it was, or 2 and 3
Rick
years.
Moody took Alabama to 1, did he not?
But outside of UConn and Tennessee, you don't have any locked-in long-term.
La Tech had that Leon Barrymore, I believe was his name, was the legendary coach there.
I can't remember his name, but it was always weird. It'd be like USC, UCLA, Texas, and Louisiana Tech.
They just decided, hey, we're going to invest in this, and nobody else was doing it.
Is there any other
Well, can I do kind of the opposite and give some programs some hope? I really thought after Jim Calhoun this would be UConn basketball because he's the only guy that's ever won there. I mean, he built UConn basketball in the Big East era into a national power. He retired.
And maybe because of that, I think when Gino leaves, I think UConn's women will still be good.
Well,
maybe so.
Kevin Ollie wins a national
He
championship.
did, but it was bad around that.
No doubt.
He got on a hot streak and got to one.
And
but
now
now
you got
Dan Hurley is terrific.
Back with Hurley, and let's look at what Greg Marshall did at Wichita State. Not only Wichita State basketball, Wichita State baseball. They could focus on those programs because they didn't have football. The Marshall, plane crash gets played up, and deservedly so. But Wichita State had the exact same situation. They had a plane crash, and it wiped out their football program literally.
But you're right. Greg Marshall had Wichita on the Gonzaga level. I mean, they were a 1 seed, right?
Oh yeah, and they made it to a Final Four.
Made it to a Final Four. He gets caught up in. They said he was too tough or whatever. I can't remember the whole story.
And when people were getting canceled, he got canceled.
but buddy, that program, they were on a milk carton. When's the last time you've thought about Wichita State basketball? And they're
in the same conference as UAB, right? We never talk about them, aren't they?
I thought
they're in the American.
I thought they were in the Horizon still. But
they moved. They moved to the A10. I think.
The A10. I think you're right about that.
Says the American.
Oh, they're in the American?
Oh, I thought they moved to the
A10. According to Brooks.
But Butler's still in that same boat.
And Butler's in that same boat. They've never been able to capture it after Brad Stevens left for the Celtics.
Yeah, Bill Snyder sort of at Kansas State. He built it, and I don't know if Kansas State will survive. Colin Klein, one of his, is going to try to do it now.
It's never been the same. This might not be a great example because they had success in the 60s, but what Dave Odom did at Wake Forest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Wake Forest today, you could not keep Randolph Childress. You couldn't keep Tim Duncan. It would be impossible to keep those guys.
For instance, they just yesterday, Field of 68 reported that Steve Forbes, who, by the way, a very hot name. There were a lot of people that were pounding the table for Steve Forbes when Nate Oates was hired at Alabama, that they're going to keep him for a 7th year. Which, when you have to say that, what does that tell you? That
it hasn't been good.
It hasn't been great. And this was a guy that a lot of people thought was a star in the making.
Chris Doering at the top of the hour. Central Alabama Asphalt brings us our 4 downs today, Brownie. Tell us about the great folks who can, not only are they paving America's highways, they can actually do small jobs for you around your property.
That's what some people might be surprised about with Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction is they do a lot of these major state, federal government, municipal roadway projects. When you're riding around and you see a new road being put down, there's a chance it's Central Alabama Asphalt. So you think, well, they're too big for my driveway, my parking pad, my church parking lot or something like that. Not at all. They've got an entire division focused on private driveways and smaller asphalt projects. It's the same crews, the same quality, and the same no-excuse standard. So no matter the size of the job, let them give you an estimate. 205-349-0910. 205-349-0910 or centralalabamaasphalt.com.
And one I did think of real quick. Before NIL was NIL, Jerry Tarkanian and UNLV.
Oh, yeah. Were they cheating by chance, you think?
Maybe, but I mean, to think about how dominant that program was for a while, it was pretty amazing.
Not even a factor or close to it, yes.
First down.
What's the most recent artist that you like and that you think will have a long career?
Okay, say it again.
Most recent artist that you listen to and that you also think will have a long career.
Oh, boy, that's tough.
So, not a one-hit wonder that came out last year. This is somebody you really believe in.
I got to go to my playlist.
See, I listened, to a lot of 90s country, 90s rock, so my new artist, I'm going to be bad on this.
I mean, that's the hard thing to me, is if I'm not listening to music on the radio, nobody is telling me what is the new music. So I have to, on my Spotify, I have to make choices to listen sometimes to new music playlists just so I can try to keep up, on the newer music.
I will say Lance saw this guy sing the national anthem at the NFC Championship game, and we promoted him at Talladega Super Speedway in country music, a guy named Zach Top. He may not be new enough to fall into this. Did you think he did a good anthem at the NFC Championship game? Did you even hear it?
I
don't know if you were in your seat or not.
I was, but
Zach Top, country music artist.
Yeah. Did I not tell you about Zach Top last summer?
When you were doing the Talladega read, you did.
Jimmy Current, he was on top of it.
The Talladega read, you told me about Zach Top.
A big
Zach
guy.
Top's good.
Big guy on his playlist because it sounds like 90s country, which is why I thought of you.
That's why I like Zach Top.
I don't know if they're new or not. They're newer to me. I started listening to them probably back during football season. 49 Winchester.
Oh, never heard of them.
I enjoy them.
Okay.
49 Winchester. I think they'll be around a while.
Okay. Tate McRae will be around as long as she looks like she looks.
Right.
So there's an end date on that.
Yeah. There will be an end date on that, but I don't think Tate McRae is going anywhere, at least for the next decade.
Let's see. 49 Winchester was founded in 2013, and their first album with a visible cover on Google was 2018. So that's pretty recent.
Yeah. That's new to me for 49 Winchester.
Maddie listens to a lot of Tame Impala. I didn't know anything about them. I thought they were new, but they've been around since 2007. And, when we were in L.A., I don't know, back in November, they played the Great Western Forum right next to SoFi where, the Lakers used to play. And they did 3 nights, and every night was sold out at the Forum. So they've obviously got a big following. I didn't know until I started listening to them this year, but they're really, really good.
I like them a lot, yeah.
Second down.
What was the last weird dream you had? Because I had a dream last night where I got kicked out of a bar.
Wow.
And that's never happened to me
What'd you
before.
do to get kicked out of the bar?
I don't know. I just remember in my dream, the bartender grabbed me by the shirt collar.
Get out of here, punk!
I pushed the bartender off me, and then I was escorted out, and then I woke up. I don't know what started the whole thing, though.
I've had a lot of weird dreams lately. I can't describe them, but they've just been weird. They've been unsettling.
Meds, I mean, if you're on any kind of meds, it will throw your dreams out of whack. I mean, edibles really, really help out. It's been a 30-day sobriety for me on the alcohol side, but getting some of these chemicals in you, it's a little bit different. So last week I had it was one of those dreams, and I was actually talking about it last Thursday when Suttles came up here. Do you ever get in a dream and you try to wake yourself up and you're like, this isn't a dream, this is actually, I'm going through something real here.
Sleep paralysis.
But you're in your dream. Yeah. Well, that happened to me, and I was involved in some kind of robbery, but it was more white collar. And I just remember being told, sitting down with the DA, and they're like, you're doing a minimum of 1.5 years inside. And so I got Spina involved, but it was one of those, I'd get up, I'd go to the bathroom, I would go back to sleep, and it would pick right up. Those are tough to do.
Those are pretty rare. Yeah.
Those are always really vivid.
Yeah. But I was just thinking about something like, I cannot believe at my age I'm going to have to go in on the inside for 1 year plus.
See, those happen a lot for me, though. That I get up and go to the bathroom, I go back, and I go back to sleep.
Well, that almost never happens.
It's almost like I paused.
Well, if I don't
pause the tape and then it starts right back up.
But do you ever get it if you want the dream? Like, I'll get up sometime, I'm like, damn, this is a pretty fun journey.
Yeah,
I can't get those. It's like, I don't want to go back to this place, and I immediately goes back.
Yeah, if I wake up and then think about it and think, well, that was weird, then I don't have the dream anymore. But if I just go to the bathroom and then just flop back into the bed, it picks right back up.
Don't you wish you could kind of transcribe your dreams?
Yes,
because it's so difficult to remember them.
Yeah, I wish you could stage your dreams.
If you would let AI put that chip inside of you.
Is that part of it?
Yeah.
Stay tuned for trash.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Third down.
What TV host or famous personality that you don't know you think might be the furthest from their on-screen persona in real life?
Well, obviously it was Ellen DeGeneres.
I was going to say Ellen DeGeneres
Yeah.
is the example of this, yeah.
To me, I'd love to see what Nate Bargatze is in real life. Love him on stage. He's got a new game show out where it's average American. It's not a correct answer. It's how the average American would answer the question, which I think is a great idea for a game show. It doesn't have to be correct. It's just what does the average American say? It's like Family Feud, sort of, where, pick a question and it's not the average American doesn't get it right necessarily. They just, what is the percentage of the average American?
What is something that is always in your glove compartment?
Yeah, the average American would say napkins or something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard, for the record, Nate Bargatze, a very nice guy.
Yeah.
I've heard that for the record, but I've never met him personally, obviously.
I'd love to hang out with him.
Yeah.
You can I think you can tell a lot of these personalities, though.
Yeah, but you say that about Ellen. I would have said Ellen was just terrific to be around, but apparently not.
I think Jimmy Fallon is probably an awful guy to hang around.
I follow his family on
nice.
social media.
Yeah, I would agree.
His wife and his kids are
They're delightful.
very creative and fantastic.
Well, they got a lot of money. So.
This is so weird. Jody says Drew Carey, and Drew Carey was the first one to pop to mind, and I don't know why.
Oh, I've heard he's like a really, really nice guy.
That's why I
Big
was
tipper.
Samuel says Chevy Chase is also the guy that would fall into this category.
No, but you can tell he's a dick.
Yeah.
Oh, I would not have thought so before.
Well, as a kid, I don't think you would have thought
that's what I'm
it.
saying. Yeah, in his funny roles.
Yeah, I think rumor has it that he's in a lot of back pain from all the different physical comedy he's done over the years, and that's why he's such just a jerk to everyone because he's always in pain.
Yeah.
Fourth down.
Scream 7 releases today.
I've heard.
Yeah. As tempting as it would be to ask you what's your favorite scary movie, Brown and Jim, you don't watch them. So what's the scariest line you've ever heard in any movie?
Ooh.
For me, it's Zodiac when Jake Gyllenhaal says, usually homes in California don't have basements. And if you've seen the movie, you know the moment.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one. What about when Alex, played by Glenn Close, tells Michael Douglas, I'll tell your wife. Fatal Attraction?
I actually haven't seen that.
I have not seen it either.
Oh, oof.
I mean,
very impactful film of the 80s.
We make fun of this line, but what's in the box? Because you think you don't know how that movie, the first time you've ever seen the movie, you don't know how it's going to end.
That's a good pull.
So when he's like, what's in the box? What's in the box? You're like, oh, let's don't open the box.
Oh, yeah.
So let's don't open the box.
We know it's not good.
Yeah, I do not want to see
it's not a bottle of wine.
Squeal like a pig is pretty frightening, too.
That's such a good movie. I'm shocked you've seen Deliverance. Have you?
I have never seen Deliverance.
Oh,
yeah. You just,
No,
he's
know
like
the
me. I've
line.
never seen it, but everybody knows the line.
You guys, I mean, it really is. I mean, obviously it's got disturbing parts, but that's one of the reasons it's so good.
Yeah. Here's Johnny. A lot of people say here's Johnny, Jack Nicholson. Yeah.
That was improvised, by the way.
I like that. That's Four Downs, brought to you today by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt and also by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. We'll talk to Chris Doering on the other side. Our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama would love to talk to you about everything from prostate health to kidney stones and everything in between. They've been giving Central Alabama over 70 years of compassionate care. They're the place you need to go for your vasectomy, your reversals. They've got your testosterone treatments, all of that, and a variety of other things that they can treat both men and women. See what they have for you at urologycentersalabama.com or call 205-930-0920 to make an appointment. 10+ locations near you for convenience. urologycentersalabama.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777, or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical offices, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Let's go racing. It's time for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the Garage Experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobil 1 Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
I'm going to do something that Chris Doering did not do for us, and he hasn't for 5 years. That's invite you to the biggest party in our area. That's the Jack Links 500 race at Talladega, Sunday, April 27th. You can get your tickets at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com right now. 877-GO-TO-DEGA, 877-46-3342 there for that number. The great racing weekend, April 25th through the 27th. It's the Jack Links 500. Get your tickets now. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. I've never wanted to be somewhere more than I did the day after the Doering party at the Spurrier Grill.
Yeah, he's the MC of the roast there. Chris Doering joins us now, SEC Network and ESPN Florida Gator great. I've got to be honest, it's no shot at you, Chris. You know this, but I had no idea the Steve Spurrier Awards existed until this year. Boy, did it ever get announced with a bang for those of us that didn't know it existed.
Yeah, one, I think we did a terrible job, obviously, of getting the word out. But two, I don't think we could have paid for the publicity that we got after the, like you guys said, roast occurred. And it was not supposed to be a roast. This is not the format of the banquet typically in the previous four. This was the 5th annual. And I guess the mix was kind of perfect with the relationship that Mario Cristobal and Kirby Smart had dating back to their days there in Tuscaloosa. But it was actually a different coach that actually got the roasting going. It was former Gator and Tennessee coach and Tennessee athletic director Doug Dickey that kind of got the ribbing started. When I asked him, I said, "Hey, Coach, what was it that you saw in Coach Spurrier when you decided to hire him that you thought would be beneficial to your program?" He said, "Absolutely nothing. This was a guy who was hanging around playing golf. We brought him in and got fired the next year. He gets another job. They get fired in their first year. Finally finds his way to Duke and gets things going there. But it was tough to live up to. Everybody that came up, had the bar set higher for them. So I almost felt bad for Coach Fulmer and for Coach Mullen, who had to go after the back and forth between Mario and Kirby.
Was there anything uncomfortable for you? Just because you said typically it doesn't go in that direction. And from our standpoint, we only saw clips that were put together by our guys here, and it was incredible entertainment for us, but were there moments of uncomfortable?
I would say the uncomfortability came in. Coach Spurrier is one of the guys that likes to give it but doesn't necessarily take it quite as well. So as Coach Dickey was saying some of these things, I'm looking back at Coach for his reaction. He seemed to take it pretty well. I think that speaks to the respect that he has for Coach Dickey. But, man, Coach Summerall, the new Florida Gator coach, was in attendance there. Loved that he was out, and hoping maybe he'll have a chance to win the award next year as the first-year Coach of the Year winner. But Kirby looks over at him and goes, "Hey, I don't know what you're laughing at, John. There's been 4 Gator coaches in my time in Athens. So, Coach Spurrier, your daughter's a good realtor. She's done well with all the comings and goings of these coaches since I've been at Georgia."
Wow. Yeah, that did feel awkward. I remember that one.
And CD, I don't guess I ever knew what you did when you weren't sitting beside Peter Burns. So, what a great setup for you with all the new coaching changes in Gainesville. I would imagine you tap into that mortgage vein every now and then, so that works out good. How was it with Dan Mullen back in town? Because he's one of the pretty recently fired, and now he's in Gainesville picking up this award.
I guess that was one of the uncomfortable parts, was that Kirby was talking about the 4 Gator coaches that have come and gone, and one of them was sitting right to his left as he was saying that. Yeah, it was great to have Coach Mullen back. I mean, this is a guy that won championships as an offensive coordinator. I thought that Coach Spurrier did something really kind by him, and he goes, "Dan, what were you here, 5 years?" as he was introducing him. And Dan and his wife, Megan, said, "No, 4. He goes, 4 years? You guys had 2 10-win seasons and only lasted 4 years?" I think that speaks to the success that he had, including multiple New Year's Six bowl games that they won. Only to be ushered out unceremoniously in that after that appearance in the SEC championship game in 2020. It fell off precipitously, but there's a lot of people still believe that Dan Mullen's one of the best play designers and play callers in all of college football, and he showed that this year out in Vegas.
Yeah, and we talked about that the other day. I think based off all of this that happened at the Steve Spurrier Awards, and we asked the question, where would he go next? Like, where could you envision Dan Mullen if he continues the success this year at UNLV coaching again?
I don't think he's going anywhere, to be honest with you guys. I mean, I think this is a guy that has found a place that feels good to him and his family. His son, all of a sudden, 6'6". He's a big basketball player, playing on some travel teams, I think out of Atlanta, but a good golfer as well. So his kids are kind of settled in out there. Loves the city, loves the program there, the support that he has for the program, the facilities. I think he's gotten to go back and do the things he loves the most, and that's developing players, calling ball plays, and not necessarily having the same sort of pressure of the recruiting that ultimately I think got him at Florida. Because you guys remember, I mean, Kirby was one of the guys that I think expedited things as after that loss to Georgia. Coach Mullen was asked in the press conference about recruiting. He goes, we'll worry about recruiting when recruiting season comes. And then Kirby ends up clapping back. Every day is recruiting season here at Georgia and in the SEC, and I think that didn't sit very well with Florida fans.
We're big John Summerall fans, but somebody, and Dunaway remind me, a national writer has Florida in their college football playoff this year, and I was like, to me, that's throwing darts. You tell me, Doering, but Florida going from 4-8 to 8-4 would be an incredible jump for me. I mean, what are realistic expectations for year one for Summerall?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people think that they can make a huge jump this year, and I honestly, I don't know if that's as much of a compliment to the new coaching staff as it is a little bit of indictment of the previous coaching staff, because there was tons of talent on this roster. I mean, I think one of the best things that Coach Summerall has done other than really, galvanizing the fan base, which he's done a great job of, but it's showing his vision of what he thinks the program can be and selling it to guys like Jaden Baugh, to Dallas Wilson, to Miles Graham, all these players that have decided to come back. I mean, I think the sky's the limit. Now, obviously, the wild card is the quarterback position. Aaron Philo comes in from Georgia Tech. You get Tramel Jones back as a sophomore this year. So there's a competition there, but I think everybody's really excited about Buster Faulkner and what this offense can do this season. So I don't have any reason to believe that this is not going to be a team that improves by at least 4 wins next year.
I'm interested with the dynamic of the Florida fan base, and John Summerall and Urban Meyer have been on a couple of podcasts together, and Urban has said it's like I'm interviewing a younger me, and John said the same thing back. It always feels to me like we always remember coaches are compared to Spurrier, not so much to Urban Meyer. How's Urban remembered in the Florida fan base? Is he a fan favorite there, and is he getting closer back to the Florida program nowadays, does it seem?
I don't know if he's a fan favorite. I think he's appreciated for what he did. I also think that, leaving coaching and saying you're done, you want to spend time with your family and deal with some health things, and then only to show up a year later in Columbus was a little bit insulting to Florida fans. So I think he's had to kind of re-endear himself to the Florida fan base, which I think has happened over time. I think if you look at favorites, it's probably still Coach Spurrier for what he did, not only as a coach, but as a player as well. But I think Coach Summerall is a great blend of Coach Spurrier with his honesty in front of the microphone. He's not afraid to say some things that may be a bit controversial at times. He's got that same competitive nature that Urban Meyer does. I think he's got a little Will Muschamp in him, too, with the fire that he shows and quite the contrast to the sideline demeanor of Billy Napier. And that was one of the things that Florida fans were really upset about, was that he didn't really show emotion. Meanwhile, you go over to the basketball stadium and Todd Golden's pushing guys, he's slapping them in the ass, he's like getting them hyped. So I think there's a great comparison between Summerall and Golden as well, which has Florida fans pretty optimistic.
Chris Doering with us, SEC Network, ESPN at Chris Doering on X is where you follow him there, and at Cedar. What is your Instagram? I forget it off the top of my head.
Doering28. I always get a bunch of crap from PB for not having the same Instagram handle that I do Twitter. I probably should have. I don't know at the time that I really knew what I was doing, but yeah, 2 different ones there for whatever reason.
It is helpful to people that do things we do when I can just say the same thing on social media. Yeah, CDoring28 on Instagram. You mentioned Will Muschamp. Bigger impact to the SEC this upcoming season, Jim Knowles at Tennessee or Will Muschamp at Texas?
Ooh, that's a tough one, man. I would say Jim Knowles at Tennessee, only because, one, I think I have ultimate respect for both of those guys. Jim Knowles was tremendous at Ohio State before leaving to go to Penn State there. But I think the drop-off in Tennessee's defense last year from the year before when they were in the playoff was pretty significant. I think the defense, I was shocked that Pete Kwiatkowski was let go. I had him as one of my top coordinators in the league heading into last season. So to see that maybe he and Sark weren't on the same page was surprising. But I love the fact that we get Will Muschamp back in this league. I was shocked to see that he left Athens. I know he was trying to take a step away to kind of spend some time watching his son play in college and just live a little bit more normal life. But this is a dude that's a ball coach, man. He can't be away from it. But really surprised that he chose to leave Athens and end up doing it again in Austin for the second term.
So the offense was a little bit better this year for Oklahoma, but it wasn't what we thought it could be with Mateer and Ben Arbuckle. How different do you think it will be this year?
I think a couple things played in. I would have liked to have seen what happened with Mateer had he not gotten injured. I think that took a lot of momentum away from the offense. But let's be honest, I think one of the biggest disappointments of the season was Jaden Ott. I mean, coming over from Cal, we thought he was going to have a big impact in the run game, be able to take some of the pressure off the passing game. That didn't happen. You had an offensive line that was better than the year before, but that's not saying a ton given how bad they were in 2024. So they had a lot of young guys up front. I think they'll be a lot better there. And I believe in both Arbuckle and Mateer. So I wouldn't be surprised to see those guys take a step forward offensively. The question is, can they continue to play at that high level they played defensively last year despite losing a couple key guys up front?
Chris Doering mortgages, man. I didn't know anything about this. I feel so stupid. I think I offered to buy you a drink one time when you should have been buying me a drink.
Well, hold on now. If it was 2021 to 2022, I probably should have been buying you a drink. If it was the last couple of years, you should have been buying me a drink or maybe like a loaf of bread or something. It's been terrible, man. But things are starting to bounce back a little bit. Housing market is picking up around here. I'm not licensed in Alabama yet, but if we can, we work out a deal, maybe we can get the licensing going there. We'll have some sort of partnership.
I like the way that sounds.
Absolutely. Lance Taylor will be the one that works that one out for you.
No, believe me, I know that.
So CD, I was in the back room, and the guys were telling me it's Marshall Faulk's birthday today, and I'm a big Rams fan, and to me, he's the most talented, just pure talented Ram of all time. If I asked you the most talented Gator of all time, is it possible you would say a guy that played on those Urban Meyer teams that didn't have...
I'm going to answer it before you finish.
Okay.
Percy Harvin.
Yes.
Percy Harvin is the best player in Florida football history. Forget the Heisman Trophy winners. Percy Harvin is the most versatile, the most explosive, the most impactful player. If he would have played strictly running back, he'd have rushed for over 1,000 yards. He was basically unstoppable. The only things that got him were migraine and some issues sometimes off the field. But this dude is the best player in the history of Florida football, hands down.
So if he would have been 100% healthy and had, I hate to say work ethic, but let's just say that he was all in, I mean, what would he have done in the NFL?
We saw what he did as a return guy. He's with a ball in his hand, he was one of the most impactful players despite some of those issues you talked about. Would have loved to have seen if he could have been a little more consistent, but I had a chance to meet him in his post-playing days. We were doing some flag football thing with former Gators. This guy was, hey, Chris, man, can I go get you some water? Couldn't have been a nicer, more hospitable guy, man, and really have enjoyed getting to know him a little bit after his playing days. But still, you look at him now, he looks like he could go out there and give you 1,000 yards receiving, even at his age currently.
When Lance started the question, Javon Curse was the first player that jumped to mind.
It was Harvin for me.
Was it Harvin?
Yeah,
Javon Curse. Javon Curse was built like an absolute Greek god. That guy, he was incredible, Doering.
Ryan, do you know, so Javon was, I think, a freshman my senior year. Javon played safety in high school. Came in as a safety, moved him up to linebacker, ultimately moved him up to edge. But this was a guy, could you imagine him knocking dudes out from the safety position at the size he was?
He would have killed somebody at safety in high school.
And that's back when people actually hit folks.
Yeah.
Unlike today, people were getting knocked out.
Yeah. I just remember that period of time when Percy was at Florida. I was doing the Saban show, and that was the wild card. You knew what Tebow could do. You could design things to try to keep Tebow from running, getting out of the pocket, making him throw out of the pocket. They couldn't figure out how to control Percy Harvin. That was the one thing that scared him the most.
So go back and look at the difference between that 2008 season when Florida won the national championship and 2009 without Percy Harvin, and how different the offensive numbers were. All of that revolved around Percy Harvin, what he could do, not only carrying the ball, catching the ball, but what he did in distracting defenses with the attention they had to pay to him as well.
You brought up flag football, and I got to ask you, 2028 in L.A., it is going to be an Olympic event. Do you think at your age you could still be impactful in flag football out there? Because, the Americans should dominate. And Doering, I just don't believe we should send NFL guys. I think we've got, great intramural guys that could win the gold medal. Why not give them their opportunity? But do you think you could actually be a factor in the 2028 games?
Bro, I maybe it's false confidence, but yeah, of course I could be a factor. I actually think it was funny. The other night, Danny Warfel and I went to the basketball game with Coach Spurrier, Florida against South Carolina. Coach looks over at me. He's like, "Hey, Chris, you heard from the UFL?" I'm like, "Coach, I'm 52. I don't think the UFL wants to have any 52-year-old receivers. I think I could still get open and catch the ball. Taking a hit and maybe more so hitting the ground would be tough, but flag would be perfect. If I had a little chance to train, I don't want to pull a hamstring or strain a groin or hurt my calf or anything, but I could still get over. It wasn't like I was that fast when I was playing, so I could put the foot in the ground and separate still.
No, I would really love to see either post 50-year-old ex-NFL guys or let our 20-year-old intramural guys that's all they do. One of the two. We don't need to send the best of the best out there. It's going to be worse than what we saw with the Dream Team in '92.
Yeah. First off,
when I was playing coming out of Florida, I played in the Senior Bowl and the East-West Shrine game. I think it was the East-West Shrine game. We brought a couple international guys over. I think we had this highly touted linebacker from Japan that came over. I mean, this dude was on skates the entire practice, every day, all day long. I feel bad for international folks. Obviously, it's our game, and I guess we've got a big head start on everybody else. But, yeah, I think we should tone it down a little bit and not necessarily show them up in their first appearance in the flag football situation in the Olympics.
I've got the answer for you here, Doering. I just looked up your surname, German descent, at least the name is. I don't know if you are, but you could play for the German team.
Yeah, I've always felt like those folks that are Americans that go do that are sellouts. That's I probably wouldn't want to do that necessarily, but
if they offered you $1 million,
that's right, Germany could
pay. I'd be drinking beers out of those big ass what do you call the things?
Steins, big Stein, yes,
yeah. Stein,
it changed quickly. Everybody's got a price.
$1 million, you say? Okay.
I mean, I felt the same way when that American skier, Chinese American descent, was skiing for China, and then I heard they paid her $23 million, and I was like, ski on, baby. I'd ski too. Yeah.
Hey, remember what was was it Jeremy Bloom that was the skier that they let him? I mean, nowadays these folks are getting paid $23 million.
Yep.
It's ridiculous how quickly things have swung the other
wasn't even
direction.
his sport.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he was a football player, and they were like, "Nah, you can't do snowboarding." I'm like,
it was chapstick too. I think it was chapstick.
Underwear model.
Yeah.
His sister was Molly Bloom. Did you ever see Molly's game?
No, I coming from you, I imagine it's strong though, bro.
No, it's a great movie, but yeah, his sister was the one that had all these underground card games in L.A. and then New York with all the celebrities. It's a great watch.
Really? All right, I'm gonna check that out.
All right, he is Chris Doering at Chris Doering on X, at CDoering28 on Instagram. He makes you work for it.
I haven't quite gotten active on TikTok. I think I have a TikTok account, but it's more for voyeurism than it is anything else. I'm not actually posting things.
No, you're like me. I had a really good friend that had to give TikTok up. He's like, because I would get on TikTok and I would say I'm going to be on here 2 minutes, and 3 hours later I'm putting my phone down.
Oh, it's 100%.
It is so addictive.
They know what they're doing.
Oh,
they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
it feeds me
addictive.
live concert clips, and I'll find myself watching little bits and pieces for an hour and a half. Same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, let's figure out when we can do something in person together, man. Are you guys going to be at the SEC basketball tournament?
Well, we were discussing that this morning.
I've got a call tomorrow on it for making sure we've got accommodations and sponsorships and all that. But I would say we lean that way that we will be up there. Are you going to be up there all week?
I'll be there. I get in Thursday and leave Sunday. Hopefully Florida's playing all the way through the championship game. I'm just going as a fan, so at least look forward to getting out on the town. Lance, we've had some good nights in Nashville for sure.
We could definitely work something out. We'll plan on being there, CD.
I'll check the extended forecast to see if it's shirt off weather.
I hope so. We had Dari Noka walking back on Broadway.
I do remember that.
That's an accomplishment.
I do remember that.
I still can't get over that. Was the night that Dari, you guys got out there with the Nashville Sounds, and Dari was the only guy that was making consistent contact, right?
Yeah, Lance, they gave us like a 26-inch bat. It was perfect for Dari. I'm a grown-ass man. I need at least a 33-inch bat.
You make it sound like he's an all-pro down in the Shire.
And during these guys will tell you, when I've had a couple of cocktails, like I can go and I can be that guy that will there is zero filter. And I was telling Dari, I'd never been around the guy, and I was like, there ain't a chance in hell you were making contact. He was getting so offended. You don't know what kind of an athlete I am. And I was like, book by cover, man. I'm just looking at you.
He did. He got some contact, but I want a rematch with a real grown man bat.
Doering, have a great weekend, man. We appreciate the time as always.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me.
All right, buddy. We'll see you. Chris Doering with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
The show's brought to you by our friends at stormrestorationroofing.com. That's Greg from Pell City. He'll take care of you. The first thing he does is give you a free no-cost roof inspection when you call this number, 205-542-3531, 542-3531, or go to his website, stormrestorationroofing.com. Andrea and Greg, pictured with me lower left there, they own the company. It's been locally owned for over 20 years. And they do so many things for you. The first thing I will remind you, though, if you're going to make a claim with an insurance provider, just check with Greg first. He can help answer some questions you may have before you call your provider. He's been working with those guys for years and years. He's got a great relationship with them. They handle storm damage, roof replacement, but that free no-cost roof inspection is a great way to start off. 205-542-3531, stormrestorationroofing.com. And our friends at Sleep Home, Alabama, that's CPAP Plus, LT.
Yeah, CPAP Plus, they are going to make sure that you're getting the proper 8+ hours of quality sleep every single night. Make sure you get into one of those great 5 locations throughout the state of Alabama. See our buddies Joe and Woody O'Neill. If you're looking for the best CPAP gear with personal service you can trust, stop into one of those 5 locations, 3 right here in Birmingham, Pelham, Highway 280 in Trussville. Stop by CPAP Plus. You're going to find the best service and equipment all in stock, ready for you. With hundreds of 5-star Google reviews, trust CPAP Plus for all of your CPAP needs. CPAP Plus, where every night matters. For more information, o'neillmed.com.
The College Football Spotlight
is presented each day by our guy Alexander Shinara, the Shinara Spotlight. And one thing he wanted to do, create a firm that could handle anything his hometown community of Birmingham faced. Well, you know he handles personal injury claims. That's well known. What you might not know is he also handles claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, and many, many others. The list does not stop there by any stretch. You find out more by going to Shinara.com. When you're in need of an attorney for any reason, you don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. He's recovered more than $2 billion for his clients. Do you need to be one of those? Shinara.com. Shinara.com.
The big battle going on right now is player movement. It looks like they're going to start trying to put some teeth into tampering. That's been the charge by the D1 Division I Council. They're going to look at rules to maybe stop some of this tampering going on with financial fines and suspensions and things like that. We've seen Brendan Sorsby now be sued by Cincinnati for leaving to go to Texas Tech. All this really started to get amped up when Dabo Swinney went and called out Pete Golding for tampering with Luke Farrelly, who was already in class at Clemson and now is at Ole Miss. Dabo Swinney, as they're getting ready for spring football, had his first news conference since that one where he called out Pete Golding, and he had this to say.
It's been about a month since you were up here for other reasons. What has been your take on
It was the Chad Morris press conference.
Exactly.
True story. Chad Morris. He calls me that night and he goes, well, I just tell you what, nobody who knows who the hell the offensive coordinator is at Clemson, I can tell you that. He said, I could have stood naked on the podium and nobody would have paid attention. You owe me another opening press conference.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Did anybody know that was when he did that? That was Chad Morris's introductory press conference.
No, not at all.
I tell you what, it had the feel of was which is one of my favorite moments in our show history, the hastily called Jimbo Fisher press conference after Dunaway had the event with Nick Saban the night before.
Well, we said it. Look, if this thing is about to go down, he is going to say things that he's going to regret.
Yep.
He is going to go off script. And they can't reel this guy in.
It
was perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect.
I mean, straight up hillbilly at its best.
Yes,
and that was the end. To me, that was the end of Jimbo at Texas A&M. I don't know how many was it another year or 2 years?
I think he coached one more season, maybe 2 more. I don't know.
Yeah, wasn't many.
Yeah, I mean, post-COVID, he never really. That COVID year was his best year. But yeah, that Dabo, I didn't assume he called the press conference for that purpose, but it felt like he called the press conference.
I thought he had. We've been tampered with. Let's have a news conference.
Yeah. So that was the Chad Morris introduction.
The Chad Morris introduction news conference here.
That's a great line one. Nobody knows who the offensive coordinator Clemson is.
I could have stood up here naked. Hey, the Big Ten and the SEC. This was our original spotlight, but it's sort of boring. But your multi-billionaire Texas Tech booster,
my guy,
bought those commercials that I still don't understand.
Cody Campbell
during the year. Cody Campbell trying to get
the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961 changed. I think that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And the SEC and the Big Ten working together had a study done to show if television rights, media rights were pooled together, would it be more beneficial to college athletics to pool all your media rights together as opposed to do them individually with the SEC, the Big Ten, and all the conferences?
It feels like yes is the answer to this. This is the NFL model, obviously.
Right.
Which works tremendously well for them.
The study comes back, and the Big Ten and the SEC jointly have sent out a one-sheeter to Congress rejecting the Saving College Sports proposal that's out there, and their study shows that it is nowhere close to making the same amount of money that they make right now. That by negotiating separately the SEC, the Big Ten, the ACC, the Big 12, Notre Dame on its own benefits college athletics. Are able to get more money that way than if they were clustered together and pooled their media rights.
I would
Is that surprising?
It is a bit surprising because to me, if you had the Power 4 plus Notre Dame and they split away and did their own thing, and they group together and they go to Fox, NBC, CBS, and ESPN/ABC and say, all right, you guys start the bidding. And we're going to chop this up among everybody, but not everybody's getting an equal amount of the pie, so you guys bid on how much the pie you want. And in return, we'll allow you to have some say-so in our scheduling. Now, obviously, we're all still conferences, so we've got our conference scheduling, but we've all got 3 non-conference games, and you can have some say-so in that. I have a hard time believing those numbers wouldn't skyrocket with the kind of TV ratings that college football gets, and they would get better ratings with the better games that the TV networks would have say-so.
Yeah, because you look at what Fox is spending right now, and the games typically at noon are not good.
No, they haven't been, yeah, because none of the East Coast, Ohio State's the only east of the Mississippi Big Ten program that was good the last couple of years. Well, Michigan was, but...
I mean, there's a lot of legalese and stuff, but you can see the paper that the SEC and the Big Ten working together has sent to Congress and is floating around the college football world today. But the takeaway from the study is that pooling the rights together is not the way to do it.
Well, I'm a bit surprised by that. That would almost be like, the NFC and the AFC, which I know they're on separate networks, but the NFL does the deal. They sell the NFC rights and the AFC rights. It's not the NFC teams negotiating for it. It's the NFL selling it. But it'd almost be like the NFC saying, we'll go do our own deal. AFC, you guys get together and do your own deal. See who gets the better deal. Which the NFC is more expensive than the AFC, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know now.
I think Fox historically has paid more for the NFC, and it makes sense if you think about it because you get all the biggest markets. You get New York, L.A., Chicago. That's your top 3. Those all have NFC franchises now. New York and L.A. both have an AFC franchise as well.
Chicago.
You get Chicago, which is number 3. You get Atlanta, which is a top 10.
Dallas.
You get Dallas, which is a top 10.
Detroit,
you get
top
Detroit,
10.
which has been a top 10. I guess it's still
By the
is.
way,
and D.C., which is a top 10. And Philadelphia, which is
top 10.
So you get all the top 10 markets in the NFC.
Now, I do think Fox's pre and post has gotten a little stale, and I think they've got way too many people, but it has always traditionally, production-wise, talent-wise, been light years ahead of CBS.
Fox?
Yeah.
I think I agree with you on that.
By the way, it started, they were overpaying to get NFL to start with, so their price probably has only gone up since they overpaid.
You ain't going to go backwards on that one, are you?
Yeah. Just interesting stuff if you are concerned about maybe having a Super League one day like the NFL and having one pooled media rights, SEC and the Big Ten not giving up their power anytime soon. At least according to that joint study that they did together. When we come back, one more look back at Alabama's win last night in basketball. Plus, we've got trash on the other side. The show being brought to you by our great friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. They bring you this hour of the show every day. You can get down and see Sterling and the crew. They are absolutely wonderful folks. Megan is there sometimes as well, running the place when Sterling is not there, but you usually find one or both there when you go by and see them. They've been open for about 32 minutes now for lunch. They'll be open for happy hour and dinner as well. The Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, a chicken that's brined overnight, cooked to order.
The hand-cut chicken fingers, all the great sides, in-house made desserts too. That caramel cake is so good. It is just a wonderful destination lunch and dinner location. It's all right there, Highway 119 in Alabaster, Champy's world-famous fried chicken.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
We interrupt this program for breaking news. From the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resource, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777. Or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the next round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Interesting comments from Dan Orlovsky after LT tells us about our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, again, make the phone call that I made, 2003. Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform the laser procedure in the state of Alabama in 1995. True pioneer. If you call around different cities around America, I'm not exaggerating. You're like, I'm getting LASIK done in the state of Alabama. Who do I go to? They're all going to say the Michelsons, Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. I've still got the 2015 vision, better than 2020. 20 years plus later, make the call that I made. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. For more information, MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Nobody's on our TVs more this time of year than Dan Orlovsky. Generally, he's on 2 TVs, so I think it was First Take he said this on, of the shows he's on in the morning. I'll just give you the quote. We always talked about Dan. Talked to Dan about this when he would come on the show with us. We always see your quotes. We don't hear exactly what you say. Here's the quote from Dan Orlovsky. Ty Simpson's tape from Alabama. How do you think he finishes?
Oh, I've already
You've seen
know,
this?
so yeah, I don't want to.
Okay.
Ty Simpson's tape from Alabama is going to impress any general manager that is in need of a quarterback.
You're pretty close. Ty Simpson's tape from Alabama through his first 8 games of the season is significantly more impressive than Fernando Mendoza. That is Dan Orlovsky. Now, you know from listening to Orlovsky and watching him on our show, he was a fan of Simpson all season long. He would rave about Ty Simpson. To say significantly better than Mendoza, though, is a pretty big statement there. That's the guy that's going to go number 1.
Also, the key is there the first 8 games.
Right. So the question becomes, was it injury related?
The gastritis.
Yeah. Was it, protection related? Was it the fact that, Ryan Williams at times was ineffective? Bernard got hurt. So your receivers, why were the last 4, 5, 6 games not what the first 8 were? That's what the NFL's got to find out.
I think the only negative on Ty Simpson is going to be lack of experience.
Louis Riddick, who's on the screen now, I heard an interview with him earlier this week, and also again back at the Senior Bowl, and he also sings the praises of Ty Simpson tape, that he does things that other people in this draft don't do, and a lot of drafts don't do, as far as reading defenses at an early age. Addressing the lack of experience, that he maybe plays with a better football IQ, like a guy who's played a lot more snaps than he actually has.
Yeah, I mean, that is the thing about Mendoza, is Mendoza's not only played a ton of snaps, going back to multiple-year starter at California, but he also got better and better and better. And, I think Ty Simpson, obviously the upside, and you see some of the throws that he's made, and, I'm sure that's what Dan's talking about there, but again, there is no way he falls out of the first round.
It doesn't feel like it right now, I would agree, unless it is a disaster for him in Indianapolis this week. It's hard to see him falling out of the first round.
Yeah, I was going to do a pro football quarterback roulette. We'll save it for tomorrow for time reasons, but it's interesting how desperate they are for quarterbacks. And as we get, Fernando Mendoza is going to be the first pick for the Colts. For the Raiders. The Colts have given Anthony Richardson the opportunity to seek a trade. That's happened here in the last hour. A lot of flux in the quarterback world right now. There's no way the Raiders don't draft Mendoza. Are you as close as you can be 100% on Mendoza being successful in the NFL?
I mean, what is success?
Yeah, what is
success? If you're the number 1 overall draft pick, it's a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the only thing you could say for a number 1 overall draft pick. If you don't have a Hall of Fame career as a quarterback, it has not been a successful pick.
But I can't remember a number 1 going overall where you're like, that's going to be a Hall of Fame guy, like feeling that good about it. So, no, I don't. Do I feel like he's going to be a 5 to 8 year starter? Yeah.
I mean, ironically, the last one you probably felt that good about was Andrew Luck. He was not a Hall of Fame guy. Now, it's because his career was shortened by...
I'm trying to think. I didn't feel that way about Bryce Young. Thought he would be good. Cam Ward, thought he would be good.
I have a hard time remembering.
Trevor Lawrence.
I'm pulling up the list of overall number 1 picks in the
Trevor
NFL
Lawrence
draft.
thought he would be good. Burrow, I thought Burrow had potential to be Hall of Fame.
And he does. I mean, Burrow is on a Hall of Fame track right now, but I mean, he's got to win a Super Bowl maybe.
Yeah, Caleb Williams, I thought he had that kind of potential.
We'll just go back. Cam Ward.
No.
I think he's going to be good, but no.
I mean, I'm telling you guys, I think we'll end up in the Hall of Fame here.
Caleb Williams.
No.
I think Caleb.
He's got a chance.
He's got a chance. It's hard to say, man. I mean, year 1, he got better and better, and then last year he was great.
Bryce Young, you just talked about.
I would say no.
2022 is the last draft we didn't have a quarterback first overall. Trayvon Walker. How's that going?
It's not a Hall of Fame career. I mean, he was...
2021, Trevor Lawrence.
No.
2020, Joe Burrow.
I mean, he's got a really good chance, but again, he's going to have to win a championship or something.
Well, and plays terrible organization, terrible defense, terrible offensive line, and he can't stay healthy. So I think the deck's stacked against him. If I had to go right now, I think he's got the talent, but I don't think he will be.
19 was Kyler Murray, 18 Baker Mayfield. Myles Garrett was a defensive end in 17.
Yes, there's your Hall of Famer right there.
But a defensive end.
Yep.
Jared Goff, 2016.
No, but better than I thought he would ever be.
No, but I mean, I'm with Lance. Closer to a Hall of Famer than I ever imagined.
Jameis Winston, 2015. Javion Clowney was 2014. Tackle, Eric Fisher, 2013. 2012, Andrew Luck Brownie was
would have been.
Felt like it was going to be.
If he kept going, he would have been.
2011 was Cam Newton.
I mean, he's borderline. He's got the.
He'll never.
I don't think
be
he'll ever
one,
get in, but he's borderline.
But he had seasons that were Hall of Fame worthy.
2010 is Sam Bradford.
Nope.
2009, Matt Stafford easily in.
Yes.
So Stafford is the only guarantee.
Stafford and Garrett, but Stafford the only quarterback. Yeah.
2009. Jake Long before that. Jamarcus Russell, one of the biggest busts in 2007. Quarterback before that, Alex Smith, 2005. Eli Manning, 2004 was the first overall guy.
Who will be in the Hall of Fame at some point.
He will be there, but it's not a slam dunk. So I think it shows you over 20 years.
You don't think my expectations out of whack, though, do you? Like, if I use the number one overall pick on you, I expect you to have a Hall of Fame career. I don't think that's that.
I expect you to win a Super Bowl, too.
Yeah, I don't think that's easier if it's a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's Eric Fisher.
Carson Palmer, 2003.
Nope.
David Carr, 2002. Michael Vick, 2001.
Nope. Vic would have been I could have been if his career hadn't been short.
Could have been.
How many quarterbacks don't work out first overall?
It's crazy, isn't it?
Tim Couch, 99. Peyton Manning in 98.
Yes. But now we're going on 30 years with two guys.
Yeah.
And 90%, 95% of the guys taking number one are quarterbacks.
I mean, maybe my expectation's too high then.
Drew Bledsoe, 93.
No, I don't think it is.
George, 90. I mean, first overall quarterbacks, Troy Aikman, 1989. There are very few that just are studs.
If Bledsoe had not gotten hurt, number one, we may never heard of Tom Brady, but number two, he would have been. Bledsoe was on a Hall of Fame path.
Well, and again, you look at Stafford would have never been a Hall of Famer if he doesn't make the move from Detroit to L.A. So a lot of this is where you go, and it's going to be really difficult. How many quarterbacks do the Raiders have in the NFL? Stabler would have never gotten there if he didn't die. Jim Plunkett, the only quarterback that's won multiple Super Bowls outside of Eli Manning, that's not there.
It does seem like there's a bias against the Raiders quarterback.
Yeah, it's just it's a difficult organization, especially today. So I think Mendoza's going to be good, but he's not going to be Hall of Fame good.
Hemphill brings us trash today. The heating and cooling and plumbing experts at Birmingham is trusted for almost 100 years now.
Yeah, look, it's never ideal if something goes wrong in the house, whether it's the plumbing, heating, or cooling, but it's nice to know you've got the reliability of a name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954, and that is our friends at Hemphill Services, 205-229-2090. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
I do not want anything that carries the Starbucks logo on this church property. You hear me? That is Lilith 1000%. I've studied it. It is a demon. It is sexual deviance. I am done with I've been done with Starbucks for a long time. It's communist coffee anyhow. You can go and drink a gallon of Starbucks today. That's fine. Don't you bring in cups in this room. If I see it, I'm going to tell you to take it out. You hear me? I'm telling you, that company is not only one of the most godless companies on the planet, they are full-blown 1,000% a witch's coven. I promise you it's the facts.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. My sabbatical is over, fellas.
Oh, we're there?
Yep.
Bama and Bourbon coming up in just
Bama and Bourbon in about 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, and I will pour my first cocktail. But looking forward to enjoy some Bud Light, watching some combine and some college basketball this weekend. Want to ask you guys randomly, we were at dinner with friends last night, and last Friday morning, I got up and was flipping around, and Netflix, the first thing that popped up was Eric Dane in his last moments. It is a special that he pre-recorded before he died. I don't know if you guys know about this, but I saw it and I was like, that has got to, and you guys know I like depressing things, but I like more fictional depressing things.
Don't know if I can watch that one.
I ain't watching this, but I'm at dinner last night with a couple and with Maddie, and they've all seen it. And they were talking about, Oh, it was just so depressing, and I cried my eyes. I'm like, what the hell did you think you were getting into?
Yeah, really. He recorded it right before he died.
I was just wondering if you guys had seen it or wives have seen it or anybody.
I knew it existed. I chose not to watch it.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't a big fan of his work. I mean, it was.
Yeah, I don't really know much about him.
I'm surprised you never watched that show.
Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah.
I did early on.
He was also on Euphoria.
You've seen him, yeah, in Euphoria, but it was a really good role. Really good role for him there in that. But you know me, I don't really worship or chase down or spend a lot of time thinking about actors, their names, and I couldn't have told you his name at all before he passed away.
Yeah, I might have struggled with his name too.
So I saw this go viral yesterday. Very scary situation. Road collapse in Omaha, Nebraska caused a sinkhole that swallowed 2 vehicles and temporarily shut down traffic in the area after the crash on Tuesday afternoon. Imagine sitting at the red light.
This is insane.
And you feel this weird pull backwards, which is just unnatural.
Yeah, at first you're not going to know what happens.
I mean, what do you think the initial thought is?
Well, my initial thought, I was going to tell you, as soon as that happens, I'm thinking to myself, okay, what has happened? And now, okay, it's a sinkhole. Is it about to give way again and I'm about to fall to the core of the earth?
That's right.
Yeah, well, you see that truck backing up.
I am out. Yes.
Yeah, that is scary stuff.
I immediately think my parents used to warn me the earth would open up and swallow me if I did certain things. Maybe they were right.
Yeah. But, I mean, obviously the one on the left, the red car, you can't get out the driver door. It's up against the dirt, the wall. So I've got to unbuckle. I've got to crawl through. Now if I've got kids in the back seat, I mean, this
horrible.
is really panic. And then you see people come over now and start to, hey, we need to help out. What's going on? Some person's probably shooting it for their socials. This is
but
in
you're
Omaha.
wanting to get out of there as quick as possible
That's
because
right.
it takes another level and it collapses again. Hell,
Right.
you might never be seen again.
That's right. And plus stuff caving in on you at that point.
The cars that just keep going to traffic, I do think they probably feel bad about it, but what are you going to do there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I
that
don't know
black
about you
truck,
guys.
It's like I'm not stopping and getting out.
If I see
a lot of people already helping, I don't
if
think
I see an accident and somebody's pulled over, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah,
Well,
I usually do as well.
I mean, if there are already people helping, I am only getting in the way if I stop. I don't have a special set of skills that's going to help this situation out. If I'm a doctor, I may stop and make sure everyone's cared for, but I'm not a doctor. I did not go to medical school at Jacksonville.
I would argue that most people who would stop after they see people already helping are not the people that need to be
That's
doing
right.
that.
Well,
they're
They're
nosy.
only
It's-
there
it's-
to get in the way and get attention.
One of the most frustrating things is you'll be, a mile deep on 280. It's not moving, and you finally get up there, and it's just a cop has pulled somebody over.
I know.
Or somebody's got a flat tire.
It's
I'm
not
like,
even a
why are
wreck.
we looking at
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
So
now
this
I worry about this on bridges all the time.
Oh, it's a different story on a bridge now.
Yeah, it happens on a bridge. You got problems. The good news is nobody was injured at all.
Thank God.
Yeah, there you go. Streamer Aiden Ross has reportedly bought one of TV's most recognizable homes. Do you guys want to guess?
The Brady Bunch house.
It's going to be the house in San Francisco that Brown made me go see. The
Full House Townhouse.
Olsen twins.
Olsen
one.
twins.
Jack and Leighton are going to see this summer. It is the Breaking Bad home in Albuquerque.
Oh, very good.
Oh, they've got fences all around this place. They've had big issues with this joint.
Yeah, so
people have come up and thrown pizzas on the roof.
What
Did
do you
know
think
that?
the sell price was on this?
For that
It's-
home
if
in
it's in-
Greystone is the way I always have to do it.
I don't think that floor plan is going to be in Greystone,
you
but
don't
if
get
it
that one
was,
approved.
For that home in Greystone, I'm going to say the sale price for this house in Albuquerque during this market is Doering, my mortgage guy.
Yeah, Chris Doering Mortgage.
I'm going to say it's gone for $345,000.
I'm going to say normally this house in Albuquerque, it's got the pool, right? The pool that you saw in the exterior shot.
I think it's just a fiberglass, run of the mill.
Yeah, I'm going to say $750.
I would have said about $750 for this too. I don't know what the market's like in Albuquerque. I've been there multiple times. It's an okay city.
Mm-hmm.
$1.3 million. Now, and he is already
Couldn't
wanting
sell it. Couldn't sell it for $345 in Greystone.
Well, this is where it gets kind of crazy. Now, the iconic Albuquerque, New Mexico property obviously served as the exterior for Walter White's family home on the AMC series. Now, according to reports, Ross secured the house after outbidding multiple buyers. during a short but intense bidding war that drew roughly 30 formal offers. Now, the house had originally been listed for $3.9 million in early 2026 before later being relisted at market value, which sparked renewed interest and drove up the bids to over $1 million. Now, TMZ says the house is finally his, and the Kickstarter is cooking up some huge ideas. Now, Ross revealed the purchase during a live stream, telling viewers he plans to recreate the property as a near one-to-one version of how it appears on the show.
Oh, I bet the neighbors love this.
Yeah, he wants to reportedly add money hidden in vents, pizza on the roof, even an RV out front. Yeah, they are really going to love this.
I just wonder, like, how your neighbor, like, the Sopranos house is actually in New Jersey. The one they use for the exterior shots there. This one in Albuquerque. Like, when you sell, or the one from Home Alone, which is in suburban Chicago. I mean, your neighbors have to hate you when you do this because it creates issues for them for the rest of you. Get the money.
I mean, when I was in Newark, I went to see the Sopranos house. I mean, I always search these out.
It's just in a normal neighborhood,
I'm lying.
right?
There's no way I would go do that. I mean, I would have.
I thought Dunaway would have mentioned that by
Why?
now.
What desire would I have to go see the outskirts of a house?
Now, I would go to Satriale's and have a sandwich, but I've got no desire to see the exterior of a house. But I agree with you. You know, there's the one dude in Vestavia, and you know who he is, that does the light show every year. That's self-inflicted, but if I'm his neighbors, I am pissed off.
Yeah, I think his neighbors, I think he's talked to them, and they're okay from what I remember.
Oof, I wouldn't be.
But this stuff
How
right
much
here.
did he have to pay him for them to be okay with it?
Right.
I don't know. I'm not getting into that. But this right here, like, I mean, I'm just your next door neighbor. You took all the money from AMC. I got nothing out of it, and I have to deal with the same crap.
Okay, so he's also floated the idea of involving Breaking Bad cast members in the project, even suggesting partial ownership could be offered as part of the future plans for the home.
Yeah. Boy, I have got it for sale. First of all, my property value just went up a little bit because it's sold for 1.7, but I have got it for sale sign in the yard today. Sounds like he's about to make this into a museum for Breaking Bad.
They've done pretty good with landscaping, though.
It's a nice house. I like it.
I mean, they've done a lot. It's a lot nicer than it once was.
Yeah. Pretty view in the back. See the mountains? Sunset?
I don't even believe this next story, but a Tennessee couple was left with, quote, serious bodily injuries when a set of antlers came crashing down on them as they tried to enjoy a steak dinner at a Longhorn Steakhouse in the Nashville suburb of Madison. Dennis and Patricia Swartz seeking $150,000 each over the freak occurrence. On February 8th, 2025, the plaintiffs were dining at the Longhorn Steakhouse. That's when the decorative object made of wooden antlers detached from the wall and fell onto the plaintiffs due to it being improperly and inadequately secured to the wall of the premises. This according to the complaint. Now, the Swartzes also say that they have further endured lasting mental anguish in the aftermath, personal injuries and damages as well. In their complaint, which was filed initially last week in state court before being removed to Nashville federal court, Dennis, 54, and Patricia, 59, argue that management at the Longhorn location in question knew or should have known that the antlers weren't secured on the wall of the premises.
I'm going to imagine we get security video on this at some point.
I looked and I couldn't find any.
Well, I'm
need
just
some.
Yeah, which is interesting, right? Because every restaurant's got security surveillance. This ought to be an open and close. I just watched security surveillance. Did anybody mess with the antlers?
How does this fall though and hurt both of them? Like, are they
Lance,
same?
I've actually had something like this happen in my house growing up.
Okay, well, tell me about it. But are they same side diners? I think you would have to be,
Could
right?
be, yeah, they're on a date.
Okay, but go ahead, bro.
So, Dad, massive outdoorsman. He has 5 deer hanging up in his living room, and one fell off the wall. We had to file an insurance claim with the furniture company. Fell straight down, punctured a hole in the couch. Luckily, it happened in the middle of the night. No one was sitting on the couch, but had someone been sitting on the couch, 100% would have hurt him. It fell from about 10. It's an elevated ceiling, so it fell from about 10 or 15 feet up.
Oh, those things are sharp for a reason.
So I'm going to try to find this. I came across this, it was like yesterday or 2 days ago. There was an actress that ultimately died because a frame fell off a hotel wall and hit her in the head. And it caused like a serious condition where she started having seizures, but she passed away like in her 50s because this massive frame had hit her in the head when she was sleeping.
I hope I wasn't in the next room doing business.
Well, I mean, that's what you would think would happen, right?
Well, honeymoon night.
Or
wasn't
she was.
it wasn't a Tutwiler in 1999, was it?
Yeah, I mean, her head's just freaking nonstop, just cracking the headboard.
That's awful.
Okay, scientists one step closer to turning Inception into reality after
movie.
discovering a way to guide what people dream about and even help plant ideas that improve creativity and help solve problems. Now, in Christopher Nolan's hit sci-fi movie, a professional thief played by Leonardo DiCaprio steals secrets through shared dreams and is later tasked with planting an idea in someone's mind. Now, while the real life isn't quite there yet, new research suggests dreams can be hacked in ways that affect thinking the next day. Researchers at Northwestern University tested whether they could steer dreams towards specific topics and see if that helped people solve problems. Before going to sleep, volunteers worked on difficult puzzles, each paired with its own sound. While participants slept in a lab, researchers monitored their brain activity. During REM sleep, the stage most strongly linked to vivid dreaming, the team quietly replayed sounds linked to certain unsolved puzzles. Some sleepers signaled they heard the sounds through small movements like sniffing or eye movements, indicating the cues were entering their dreams. The results suggested the method worked. Among the 12 participants whose dreams were targeted with audio cues, most reported dreaming about the puzzles. Their success rate solving those problems the next day doubled from 20 to 40%.
Do you ever dream? I may have asked you guys this before. Like, I was having a dream not long ago. My wife's phone alarm went off, like her to wake up. And that was in my dream, and then I wake up and it's actually going off. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's part of my dream, and then I wake up, but it's actually going off. So it worked its way into my dream. This is kind of like that.
Yeah.
I would be interested in something that allows me to pre-program my dreams. Now, I know what the vast majority of men would use this for.
But I'd be okay with that.
I'm not suggesting that, but like if I wanted to dream about playing Augusta National, I could pre-program that and go to sleep and dream about that. How awesome would that be?
That would be a moneymaker.
Oh, that'd be a huge moneymaker.
Moneymaker.
Many various reasons.
Now, at that point, you'd have to sell rights for Augusta National to
That's
be used
true.
in your dreams or
certain females.
Yeah, whatever the girl y'all love from Euphoria. What's her name?
Euphoria?
Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney, yeah.
So easily forget.
We'd have to get her rights to be in our dreams.
Be very popular.
Forrester leaves us with this. By the way, that's trash brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. This hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's. Champy's world famous fried chicken. Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the crew there. Just great food. Happy hour too. Easy to go. Go check it out. Champy'sChicken.com. The Tampa International Airport got together back in the day and banned Crocs from being worn in the airport.
Lance, you're on board with this.
They're taking it to a new level. They've sent out a release today after successfully banning Crocs and giving everyone the amazing opportunity to experience the world's first Crocs-free airport. It's time to take on an even larger crisis now. Pajamas at period, the period, airport period, in the middle of the day period. We know this decision can be disruptive to someone in your life, but it's time to have a difficult conversation with them. You can do this. We believe in you. The madness stops today. No pajamas in the Tampa International Airport. It's become a growing trend just to wear the pajamas as we just fly on planes.
Such a tacky look. I think if you're a girl and you're under 14 years old, I don't necessarily have a problem with the pajamas.
Or sometimes little kids, like if it's going to be a late flight, they'll put the little kids in pajamas.
My problem with the Crocs is always, everybody wears them without socks, which, they're a bad look either way. But my fear is they get on the plane and then they take the Crocs off. Everybody's feet look absolutely filthy when they wear the Crocs. And you got somebody that's got bare feet on a plane next to you.
Yeah, it's no bueno.
Yeah.
I think we've all had it. Like people take their shoes off. I had a guy, shoes off. I was across the aisle, but shoes off and had his foot propped on the armrest of the person in front of him. And I'm like, man, that is just such an invasion
But, I
of the
used to be one of
space.
those when I would travel that I would dress somewhat nice to travel. But now I kind of dress like I dress on
I dress
here.
comfortably, but I'm not in pajamas.
I'm wearing joggers. I'm wearing a hoodie.
First of all,
truthfully, joggers are a lot like man pajamas.
That's
anyway.
correct, yeah.
So
first
it's
of all, my pajamas are my boxer shorts. So,
But
that's
here's
I
what
sleep
scares
in.
me about the pajamas. Much like if you go eat early on a Saturday or Sunday, I don't like people that roll out of bed and go eat at a restaurant without showering.
So you think they've just rolled with their pajamas out of bed straight to the airport?
I'm kind of a Lance on that.
I just don't like people that are unshowered, walking around and sharing that tube that is an airplane with me.
Tampa has fighting the good fight in the airport there for all of us. That's our show today. We're back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time in New Bama and Bourbon with a new studio out today. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.